Hello and welcome back. Da-da-da-da. We are here. We have returned. We are Rolex Play. We roll dice. We play games. That is our thing. Welcome. You have joined us for our Tuesday campaign of Threads of Chaos. This is session 30, 3-0. Oh my God, guys, we're getting through it. We're getting through it. And we're kind of on a big moment in the campaign so far. This is the first big antagonist that the party is going to be facing coming up, whether it's this session or next session. But it's very exciting times. TPKs are plenty. Let's hope. Okay. Let's hope that doesn't happen. Let's fingers crossed the party can stand up on top. Looks like it's going well so far. But
it's a full house. Everyone's here. Yay!
Everyone's here as well. We have everyone present and accounted for. So we're just going to dive straight into it since we are a little bit late already. The party have arrived at the Shard of Glass Zone 1, one of many zones around the world, around this continent, and beyond. They are used as settlements, forward operating bases for the warforged. The warforged are almost these metallic creations powered by a central device in their chest known as a matrix. And their goal in life is to protect the people, protect humanity, as well as the kind of world itself. Do good is their kind of main agenda, if you will. Now, as the party have arrived alongside the other troop that they have joined this far in the journey, they have a plan, which is to find where two powerful demons, godly beings that are hiding amongst the citizens here of this settlement. They are trying to pinpoint where they are, track their whereabouts, and plan some sort of attack or trap to at least take out one at a time, if possible. That would be the best outcome. These demons in particular seem to work better together. So the plan is to try and separate them and to take them off in different areas. Whether that will work or not, we'll find out. The party are currently entering the main, almost citadel, the main building that stands out in this settlement. The reason why it's called the Shard of Glass. It is a large, cylindrical, almost broken piece of one huge crystal. Black in color, almost glossy in kind of exterior. This is the base, the home of where the Warforged are created and where they kind of live for the most part. The party are heading in to find out what sort of issues the demons have been concocting inside, as they believe there is some connection between the Warforged being corrupted and perhaps being pulled, their strings being pulled by these demons. But who knows why? And that is what the party are going to find out now. So, as a group, you have prepared this plan to enter the Shard of Glass. Who is doing what? Who is going where? Are you going together as a troop? Are you splitting up? You have Floke with you, the kind of wooden appearance, this oak appearance of a Warforged, a very special Warforged here, who hasn't been corrupted or hasn't been maintained thus far. So they are the only ones that you kind of trust at this moment. But you guys tell me, what is your plan?
Are we sticking together? First important question. Are we splitting up? Splitting the party?
I believe last session we sent Caroline to let the other group know what we're doing in
That's
case
correct.
it goes down. And now we are all going.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay. Floke will go for it.
In, I will give Vigilant Blessing to Helen.
Yippee.
Okay, what does that do?
Advantage on initiative rolls.
That's useful. I'll take that.
Yep.
Very good. And what does this look like, Alicia? Since we haven't really seen this ability used before.
We have. I've used it twice.
Yeah, we have.
Okay, never mind. Forget
Just
it.
like a blue shimmer around the person for a second.
All right, perfect. Shimmering in blue lights, you are now empowered, Helen, with a bit more of a haste, a bit more of a speed, a bit more of like an alertness to you. But as the group of you begin to enter this large central pillar, you can see that the exterior is still cracked. There are still warforged working on it, trying to repair it. I would like... Who is keeping an eye out? That is the main question.
Mostly out of
Okay.
curiosity, because this is weird, and I want to know what the fuck this is.
Okay.
Same.
I think Oren would be looking at the repairs, trying to find anything fishy or...
Okay.
mean,
Olrin, you can
My
roll...
passive investigation is 22. I'm kind of always looking out
Jesus
for
Christ.
Jesus.
Okay.
22.
Helen, if you want to roll to see if you get higher than a 22, you're more than welcome to. Leonie and Robbie, if the two of you can roll perception checks as you're glancing around. Arne, if you could roll a history check at advantage, since this is like a part of your stone cunning sort of feature.
Alrighty. I'll also add thingy guidance.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice.
So, Olrin, you are looking at the cracks that are being melded together. You see that they're using that same glass material called vidri, and it is like being melted down and filling in the cracks and kind of being almost cooled as it's hitting the exterior to try and make it solid once more. It is a slow process, so you see that's why they're taking quite a while to put it back together. But in terms of a few of the cracks, you can see it looks like this wasn't a natural occurrence. It's not like there was an earthquake, nothing along those lines. It actually looks like something has tried to crack it. Something has impacted an area along the right-hand side. You can see it just at a glance as you're kind of walking towards the entranceway. It is almost buried softly into the ground. The shard is almost like completely kind of oval shaped, but you imagine a lot of it is also underground as well. Like it's just a shard that's digged in halfway, and you're seeing like almost the top of the iceberg, if you will. You see there is a crack in the soft patch of dirt and kind of in the glass that looks like it's got almost claw marks against it, like something's maybe pushed its way through, cracked away quite severely. Strong enough to cause almost an unbreakable substance as this to crack under pressure. If you wish to investigate it further, you're more than welcome to, but that's what you gain. For Cal, you're looking around quizzically. What more specifically towards?
Mostly, so we've heard that this is like the centrum, the center of where the wolf would like work. So he's mostly just trying to figure out, like, sure, their purpose is to protect people. What specifically are they doing here that they need to be settled here? Like,
Okay.
what's the purpose of the shard?
As you are kind of looking around, taking it all in, you can see the workers on the exterior. You're more focused on the interior and what you're going to see next. Looking in, you have this open plan space, which has several crates placed in different areas. There are almost workshops that are placed in kind of like groups, it seems like, almost like worker groups. You see there's 3 warforged in one area, 4 in another, all kind of huddled together and all working on top of each other to kind of build and assemble different things. For the most part, you see them assembling different body parts of what a warforged will become. You're seeing like almost like creating armor for a certain degree. It's kind of like creating elements of the forearms, of the kind of the backbone, different parts here and there. From what you can see, and from your kind of understanding of nature, the baseline, the underneath part, hidden underneath the metal that kind of covers most warforged, you see that there is almost this network of vines that are being used as like a central nervous system. You see all of them kind of intertangle or wrap around at different areas, creating kind of like the appendages of the arms, the legs, very much like you're looking at the body split open and all of the intricate parts inside that make it function, make it work, make it move. But there is a central area that is completely hollow, where you can see vines would almost latch onto and grasp, and it's the same kind of placement as what you've seen the Matrix is. As well here, you're seeing some of the warforged examining the flora. They're looking at the plant base, the kind of different foundations, and on occasion you see them almost spritzing like perfumes on them, and some of them have almost like a toxic effect to some degree. You see some bits of flora wilt away, but you see others bloom and kind of grow faster. There is kind of like an understanding of they're learning perhaps the growth in this area. You've seen outside the impact that the willow tree, this huge encompassing tree, has kind of its roots buried itself into this forest and have given birth to all of these strange kind of like trees from tropical areas to arid cold lands. They seem to have a root of that. And you see them almost examining it, trying to understand it, or why it's causing these mutations to happen. Very much like just anthropologists just trying to understand how this plant life works. You see them taking notes, etc. For Helen, with your passive 22, what is it specifically you're looking for as well? Brooke, you're muted.
She's looking kind of for anything that. Because obviously this is a big workshop, and we've seen a lot of big workshops, but anything that looks like maybe they're trying to kind of hide.
Okay.
Like they're working on other stuff, but is there anything that looks like it's, a table in a dark corner kind of things?
Mm-hmm. With your general investigation check, it seems like the space is open enough and not really being hidden that you get a sense that what they're doing seems to be ethical. Okay. If you could roll an insight check as well.
My wisdom is not the highest.
This is when they roll a net 20.
We'll see. Okay, nope, that is 8.
With your high passive investigation and getting a lay of the land, you are assuming this is the workshop floor. This is where everyone kind of like operates. This is the budding trade. This is where everyone kind of puts together their mind and tries to come up with solutions. If there were to be any nitty-gritty or hidden elements that they would try to hide from the public, you would assume that to be further in this building. There are offshoots that seem to go up, but also go down. So you're kind of inclined to believe that if there was something hidden, it would be in those areas outside of the main open spot. But you see Floke is there. He kind of like looks around, kind of just jolly. He's still kind of trying to keep it on the low that he's worried. So you see he's kind of like, hey guys, I hope you're having a nice day. And he's just continuing to walk because he doesn't really want to try to give the jig up.
Do they respond?
Yeah, you see them respond.
Do it with the same weird synced upness.
Synchronization. Some of them kind of do, but you can roll an insight check if you want.
I very much want.
Leonie's cam instantly died as they tried to click on the character sheet. Bye-bye! See you later!
Internet connection goes bye-bye!
Oh, you wanna know more? No.
No. Hello, Leonie.
Did it end up rolling? I don't think it did. I'm gonna click it again. Maybe I die again. 10!
Right. 10. You don't know enough about the Warforged to understand how they operate, especially in like a group. What the vibe that you're getting at is a very closed off community. So it's very possible they all have a very similar mindset. So maybe their responses are just very well timed because this is a repeated pattern that they've gotten into. You're seeing this kind of very simulated robotic element of them, even though they have emotions they can feel. They're not like sentinels. Sentinels are almost man-made creations that have no heart, no soul. These guys have an element of emotion to them because of the matrix that they have. But you still see that kind of, they are very formulaic, going through process, repeat. So you're unsure of the synchronicity of it all if it is to do with something else. But Floke is going to begin to lead you. You see he turns to the group of you. Okay, guys. Well, Quattrus, he is downstairs, down on the second floor. So perhaps it is a tight space. We can all squeeze in, though. So, yeah, why not? And he just begins to walk down. Plus, if there's something wrong, then more the merrier, right?
Great, I love tight spaces. They're my favorite. Why is it tight space? Okay.
And please, I don't mean to be a bit of a drag, but if you could just keep your hands to yourself, that would be great. We don't really let a lot of people from outside of this home down below. So if you could just be mindful of or what you may be touching. And some elements may be very dangerous. We have a lot of iodine crystals down there that, well, can be temperamental, for sure. So no magic. All good?
Yeah.
Yes,
All
of
good,
course.
yes.
Good. Let's go. And he begins to head down the stairs. It's a wraparound staircase, leads you down all of the floor, the walls, everything that isn't a additional structure, such as a table or a bench or anything like that. Everything is made out of the same glass structure. It looks like this entire interior was almost chiseled out from beginning to end to what you're seeing. Everything was methodical, thought out, prepared, planned, and executed with a fine detail. For Ulrin, you're seeing all of these elements where you've seen how hard it is to manipulate this glass already, to be able to carve it in this way, to hollow it out, to create perfectly presentable rooms, manufactured staircases. It is a work of art, and it took a long time to do. This is a community that are driven, focused, and they will try to achieve perfection if necessary. Maybe a few hiccups here and there, but that's what they try to do at least. Going down to the second floor below, you eventually find it kind of, the staircase ends, there's an open space in the middle, there's a warforged walking back and forth, and you can see there are two rooms, one to the left, one to the right. Floke begins to walk you guys over to the right-hand room. He just kind of turns around before entering. Just as a reminder, his name is Quattrus. He is a part of the Oxydermis, a very profound, the first initial warforged to ever be created. He is inside, I believe, from what it sounds like, you hear almost like sparks, tinging of metal, even like heat emanate from the doorway. I believe he may be servicing some warforged as we speak, but that'll be okay. This is a process that takes a long time anyway. He doesn't mind interruptions. Who am I introducing you guys as? What's...
Good
I
point.
see no reasons our name won't do. Or are we going with pseudonyms?
Maybe just first names?
Okay, first names. I will let each one of you introduce yourselves, if that's okay. All right.
Before he runs off, Helen would say, does he have a title that we should address him by, or is just the name?
No titles. The Oxydermis don't have titles. They're the same as any other warforged. So just his name.
Okay.
You see Floke begins to enter. He knocks on the door. You hear this, come in! He kind of opens the door. Oh, hello, Quattrus. Are you available for a quick chat? Of course I am. Please enter. Oh, I see that you've brought some guests. As you enter this room, the door opens and you can feel that heat emanate from inside. It's not kind of like it's not too hot, but the room just has a heat to it. The reason for that is you look at him and you can see straight away that this warforged is one that is built almost completely out of like bronze metalworks. You see that their exterior is almost bronze in color. They are humanoid in shape and quite tall, but you can see their arms towards the midsection are quite thicker. Their chest is thicker than their legs, as well as the kind of extensions of their arms. And you can see it by those thicker elements. There is a almost origin of this heat, as well as his matrix in the center. All of them seem to give off a warmth, a almost, to put it lightly, almost like a jet fighter sort of heat. You are seeing almost like a propulsion system built into this warforged that just has heat pouring out of these exhaust pipes. He himself is quite lanky, long fingers. You can see very delicate looking around, and his face is almost less human-like and more kind of angular, pointed, kind of shafted out slightly forward as well. And he has a bit of like a hinge to his mouth. Even though it doesn't really move per se when he's talking, the voice kind of just emanates underneath and like a speaker does. But you can see his eyes are kind of quite wide looking around. They're just kind of glowing elements of orange, but the gloss that goes around them has like a bit of movement to them, almost like they are eyes shifting around, as if his like ocular vision is dialing in at a very kind of acute sense. As he looks at you, those lights kind of pinpoint for a second as he's almost like zooming in, although he's about 40 feet away. The room itself has two long tables on the left and the right. Each one of them has a warforged on them. There's a chair. There is almost this like large arm device that's looking down at them. And you can see their chest is open. The matrix is resting in the center. And he's been kind of messing around with them. He looks like he's been tinkering and kind of observing them. But as you enter, he kind of just addresses all of you. Oh, good day. What is, how are you? You see, he's almost got this strange disposition to himself as he's kind of like looking at each one of you, focusing on an element and then just pulling back and then looking at another one and focusing on another element there. Very intrigued on you guys and what you're wearing. There is almost like this fascination of, he sees something different in each one of you. Sorry, I'm a little observant recently. My name is Quetris. Pleasure to meet all of you. What are your names? What brings you here? Floke? Why have you brought all of these people here? You see, he kind of like looks at you guys to introduce yourselves.
Helen would kind of do a curtsy and goes, I'm Helen. These are my companions, and would gesture to whoever's standing next to her to introduce themselves.
Alicio, and does like a small bow.
Mm-hmm.
Oren. Pleasure.
He nods greatly. You can see his neck is slightly longer as well, so his nods are very deep as he's just looking up and down. Meanwhile, Leonie's dead.
Hal, he's associating currently. Don't worry about it.
That's okay. We all get nervous. Well, it's a pleasure to meet all of you here. Floke, you see, he looks over. Yes, they are friends of mine. In fact, Ulrin is the individual that I had given some of the Vidri to as a way of introducing him to our kind as we look to expand our focus further. Ulrin, yes, I remember. Have you created anything yet with this Vidri?
I have a few designs I could create with it, but I have a limited quantity. So I first want to make sure I make something worthwhile.
Of course. Well, you want to make the first one always a little special, right? There's always more Vidri, of course, but I'd like to see what you make. And then perhaps I could give you some more. he kind of smiles and looks around at everyone. Have you ever seen a warforged open before?
No, I didn't.
Have we?
I don't think so.
Have any of us? Okay.
But technically,
Helen would be kind of staring at it.
Mhm.
technically, Cal shot one.
As you say this out loud?
No.
Okay. You see he kind of like gestures over for everyone to come closer as he's inspecting the warforged to his left. You can see there's an anvil in the center. He looks to have been kind of hitting some piece of element of like their neck bracer, which is left on the side. It just tings on the anvil. Come, have a look at him. I will show you elements of the warforged, and well, I'd like to share information. So, if I show you pieces, how about you share something of yourselves? A little trade. Why not? He looks over the body, and you can see the matrix in the center is, when you've seen warforged, it kind of glows. It doesn't have a constant glow. It has almost like a faint heartbeat to it, like it's active, in use. The energy of it is feeding into the body as a heart would to keep it going. You can see there is the matrix there. It's stopped completely. It's still. But there is a soft, dull grey light in its center. I have placed him in a state of paralysis for the moment, just to ensure that he doesn't act out when I start pulling some of the elements apart. Don't worry, it won't hurt him, since I've disconnected the mind completely. He is just a shell.
How does our companion look at kind of seeing this? Like, is he kind of having oh, this guy's lost his rocker a little bit, like sweat down the side of his brow? Or is this just like normal
looks
behavior?
Completely normal, yeah. It's just like...
normal behavior.
He's like blank, just staring at him, just thinking to himself, don't say anything, don't say anything, don't say anything.
So this is kind of if we were comparing it to humanoids, sense of anesthesia.
Yes, that's right. It is. It's almost a sense of immaterialism, where the body almost becomes a corpse, an item, a non-realistic entity. The mind itself, the soul, is gone elsewhere. It is in a status of disconnect, if you will. The mind, the heart, the soul of a warforged is in this crystal. Now, the crystal itself isn't special by any means. It is an ordinary iodine crystal. You can find these in mines. They are rarer than most. They are not as common as rubies, sapphires, or diamonds per se, but each one has almost a specific element that it's tied to. In the foundations of this world, there is almost a part of creation that goes into them. Most iodine crystals are dormant. They don't have a special quality to themselves. They are just almost a beacon, a power source of arcane energy. But there are some that are changed. Mine, for example, is almost the heart of a fire crystal. It is an iodine crystal that has absorbed elements of heat, pressure, and I am able to use it. And you see he kind of holds his hand out to the right, and he just projects himself over to the left-hand side and spins almost 180 degrees as this spout of flame propels him into this spin, and he stops midway. Allows me to do different things, control body temperature, causes me to be immune to all flame, for example. It is a unique quality that most, if not all, warforged have. But it's unlocking that is the hard part.
Unlocking?
Well, trust in yourselves, right? As people, as when you grow up, as from infancy to children to childhood to teenage years, you have a moment of discovery, right? You find who you truly are, and you become that in your adulthood. There's still time for change, of course. But it's in those lava stages where you truly find yourself and you emerge into something completely indistinguishable.
And it works similarly with warforged.
Kind of. The iodine crystal, they are nothing without the right runes. And you see he pulls at the crystal in the center of this warforged's chest, pulls it free of all of the vines that are wrapped around it, and kind of holds it in his hand in front of you. As he's shifting it around and spinning it in his hand, you can see the light shines very dimly, but on the edge of the glass, there is very, very faint etchings that go all the way across, all the way down. There is no distinguishable pattern that you can see off just a glance, but you can see there is etchings. From one point, you'd almost expect them to be like cuts or scrapes. But if you were to really focus and zoom in, those lines are actually tiny, tiny, almost microscopic little changes here and there, scratches, movements, runes that have been embedded to turn this into a matrix. It is due to this process the creator and those who are gifted with a knowledge to fabricate more warforged have this special touch. They were taught this lesson by the founder, and they had passed it on. Without those markings, or without knowing this sort of process, you wouldn't have a warforged. You would just have an arcane-powered crystal. That is what makes the warforged special. He places it back in. What makes each one of you special?
Alicia looks to Helen to go first. Ladies
Helen
first.
goes. Helen will just kind of pull out some little bits and pieces of her alchemist tools and goes, I myself am a fairly well-trained, I like to believe, alchemist. Ulrin, as you know, is a very fine craftsman.
See, he's
Hi.
nodding intently.
I am a doctor myself.
Specifying in?
General physician, but also creating medicine. So a bit of a pharmacist, supposedly.
He nods. He looks to you, Ulrin.
I don't really specialize. Well, perhaps smithing would be my main focus, but I like to keep a broad approach to creation as a whole.
He nods. What would Cal's answer be, guys? Since Leonie's not here to answer.
Oh shit.
I have
Really good at
ADHD.
this. Pulls out bow.
I can't control my body.
Yippee!
I
like
love
drugs.
uncontrolled substances.
Jesus. I
Am I
love
wrong?
drugs.
I love committing misdemeanors.
He nods
I
to each
love
one of
dragons.
these. A very eclectic mix. And how have you all found your way here?
We've been traveling around a fair bit. we were given a trade vessel, so we've been trying to explore our options as far as what we're actually going to be trading.
As you're having this discussion back and forth, at the back of this room, where the anvil sits, there is a statue of a woman that stands there and overlooks the anvil. Seems to be of elven descent, perhaps a high elf. Those of you who want to can roll a history check to see if you recognize who this figure is.
Yep.
I'm
It's
gonna
a very specific figure, so.
assume Alicia might know.
And Olrin knows.
Bad rolls for
Also do it.
Helen.
It's a craftswoman's statue, assumingly. So yes, of course I know.
Were we all rolling with advantage?
No, I'm rolling with advantage because
of his stone's cunning.
Oh, okay.
For Olrin, with a natural 20, of course, you've seen this person depicted in different monuments, in fact, created by the Warforged, and those who sympathize with the creation of the Warforged. This person is the original founder and creator of the first Warforged that ever was conceived, where the Warforged from this point onwards, in the history that you know, would be created by other Warforged. There had to be someone who created the first one. And that was a person called Aurora. They were around many years ago when you did not have the Void Empire, you did not have the Ebrith dynasty, when the ruling of Kalzera was just under one name, under the name of King Hadal. This figure was a very controversial one. They were almost a dictatorship in how they led, or very authoritarian. He had tried to commission some sort of labor force through Aurora, and she had created, through a spark of genius, the first Warforged. However, could you roll another history check as well? This time, just a straight roll, since this is recalling information.
Do I have to? That is very dangerous currently.
Very dangerous, I know. But, okay. She created the first Warforged that was ever implemented. However, it did not go down well. There was a controversy. There was some uproar from the citizens as well as King Hadal. And she was ordered to destroy any creations that she had made. As to why, you're not too sure, but this led down the path of exile for these Warforged. It is said since by one of the first Warforged created, Zero, who has told this story to the masses, trying to tell her story and who she truly was. She was meant to destroy the first Warforged that she created. Instead, she escorted them into the Underdark and allowed them to hide, run away from the surface, where all of the people were almost ready to rebel, and pitchforks and torches kill the Warforged that was made. This then led to Zero creating his own kin down in the Underdark, which then, after a few hundred years, was allowed to go onto the surface. But she was the founder. She was the creator. Her history, her story was pretty much left to the dust. She was killed during one of the major fights, where Andrix the Cruel had tried to take over Trasvalar. But in her name being lost to history, it was brought back by Zero, the Oxydermis, and the rest of the Warforged that operate underneath them. So she is the founder. And you can see that represented here. She is almost overlooking and keeping an eye out on elements that are being made for these Warforged, and giving us almost symbiotic blessing, or in their eyes, almost a godly being, really, if you think about it. Someone who is acknowledging, someone who is overlooking, someone who is caring for the processes that these Warforged make. With an actual 20 as well, where this statue sits, there are the steam vents that are creating a slight mist in the room. The room is being purified almost 24/7 through this mist. This is to keep things sterile in the environments which they're working in. But the mist itself grows thicker where the statue is and creates this almost silhouette of her. But there's also grass here. This is in a garden of sorts. And as well, to the back left and the back right, you can see the silhouettes of trees. As the mist pulls back slightly, you can see that these trees are grey and thin, and they look very similar to the ones that you've seen outside of this building. The ones where the demons have been going through and using. That's something to bear in mind.
Amazing. We are already being watched. And if we start a fight here, 2 demon dogs will spawn in.
Perhaps. If you could, Ulrin, since you've seen them, roll a Arcana or Nature check.
Stop giving me more checks. I'm
He
in
just wants you to
fear.
roll a 1, man.
Perhaps.
Evil.
Evil. Oh,
Uh-huh.
19.
Not today.
Okay. Now, there's a couple of things to point out here. The vidri, the glass itself, it shelters anything inside from divination, from conjuration, anything that tries to perceive through these walls almost breaks that connection, right? That includes telepathy, any sort of mind linking. You get the sense with your 19 that these trees aren't being used as a visual aid. They're being used as transportation. Because they are almost cut off by the glass that surrounds it. So you're not being watched.
Probably has a whoops button somewhere in here that he could. If they're
Yeah.
down here, there's a
Maybe.
reason they're down here. Surely.
Perhaps.
Um,
You see he kind of looks around, grabs the crystal and places it back in the chest very delicately, very faintly, as he begins to piece it back together once again. So, what could I help you with? Is there anything else you wanted to learn about the Warforged?
We were mostly curious to see the process. We heard that you were doing some regular maintenance to all the Warforged.
He looks over towards Floke. That's right, yes. Do you know how you must maintain a matrix?
And how so?
There is a special device, and he gestures behind the group of you by the entranceway. There is almost like egg-like device that is broken apart, surrounded by a metal casing, where it seems to almost interlock if you were to place something inside. That is a matrix purifier in the corner. This is used to ensure that the matrix is invigorated, purified of any sort of nasty parasites. We've had a past of things trying to take over. Just as anyone else, a matrix is and can be influenced. And that is why we need to ensure these checks are done. As well, without proper care, although a matrix can last thousands of years and almost indefinitely, it does lose a bit of energy. And thus, you must ensure that it's well kept.
Well,
And
similar.
Helen kind of stepped towards the machine, kind of as he's saying this, and just kind of look at it. Like she's genuinely curious, but she's also looking for any suspicious spiral associated motifs.
Sure. Roll a Arcana check.
Yeah, I'd also like to look if it's maybe been worked on, like not like proper maintenance, but like last minute additions or
Sure, yeah.
manipulations.
Anyone was tinkering with it.
Is there a suspicious USB stuck in the back of it right now?
There's just a D drive somewhere off to the side, external hard drive. Says virus in big bold letters.
Yeah.
Stuck there on
Also,
there with
can I-
tape.
Can I use my Tinker's Tools proficiency, because I assume that's what is
Yeah, that would what would need to be done
relevant building
to.
thing?
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
I'm just imagining like the Hacker Man meme, just like the demon, just like that. Got him, bitch, Hacker Man. With a 21 and a 24, the both of you have a look over this device, and you are both very confident that it has not been tinkered with. This thing is completely sound. It looks like it's built with its purpose, and as he explained, it seems to purify and cleanse the life force of the crystal that is placed into it. Doesn't necessarily mean it has to be a matrix. It could be perhaps any sort of crystal, but it seems to empower a matrix more so than anything else. And it's a very intricate design. It couldn't be replicated easily, but there's only one of them here. Doesn't seem to be duplicated. Doesn't seem to be another one. This seems to be the only one in the building that you've seen, at least. Yeah. So nothing on that.
I have a question, actually, if you don't mind answering.
I love questions. Go for it.
So when the crystal is purified, is it reset? Or does it
No.
keep. Oh, I see.
It is not reset. It's almost a state of, if I were to put it in an understanding of magical terms for those who practice it, it's almost like removing curses and restoring the almost purity of it. And any sort of dullness that would be there would be healed up. It would just be starting fresh. The person inside, the mind, the soul, whatever you wish to call it, the warforged that is placed within, that maintains. That is the same. But if that light goes, they're gone forever. Once a light is extinguished from a matrix, they're gone. No purifier, nothing will help reestablish that link. And it's not known or where, if I were to go metaphysical on this, where we go. What are we really? We just cease. And that is why our job is very important. To give back what was given to us. Life.
Well, if a warforged, well, forgive me for my lack of knowledge on this, but if it were to have some sort of emotionally damaging experience, would that damage the crystal itself? Something that would hurt the mind? Would that get purified too?
It is a question that I don't truly understand. Because there is no one or the other for Warforged. There is just it. We are just one construct. There is no truly a heart or a soul or a mind. We just are.
All right. Is it possible to have multiple vessels for one crystal? Or is that not possible?
I believe it has been tried, but I think to no concrete evidence. I don't believe it's ever been confirmed of happening.
Can I see
You want
his-
to roll an insight check?
Yeah,
Go for it.
22.
22. You see that there's perhaps an element of him that is definitely curious on the question, and you get the sense that he's maybe heard people have tried. Other Warforged have tried to create two souls into one crystal.
Oh, I was asking if one soul in two vessels, essentially.
So what do you mean? So one soul
So if it
split in
was-
half into two crystals?
Like if you
More
could,
like
because
if
you
one
could take the crystal
crystal-
out.
If one crystal can control multiple vessels, essentially.
Okay,
Or is it like only attached to the one?
sure. He will elaborate and say, oh, well, there has been a past, yes, of this happening. Those who have the power can sometimes abuse it. Not all Warforged are thorough or righteous with their intent. Some are slightly curious or have been corrupted by external forces. I had mentioned we've had a tumultuous past of possession. Well, this has happened once before. A very dark time for our people. We were seen as almost a parasite.
Oh, that's a horrible thing. I mean, how many people, humanoids, get corrupt? But we don't call them parasites.
With your 22 insight check,
Mm.
you see elements and moments where he's kind of like speaking.
Mhm.
His matrix glows like a orangey warmth, which seems to be his normal color that he exudes from the crystal. You see flashes of red in there sometimes as well.
Suspicious.
Know what that indicates? Like, it doesn't seem natural to him, or if it's like
Roll a.
Involved.
You can roll a perception check or an investigation check.
I'll do perception. 23.
Okay. Can you also roll? I'm assuming you're trying to hide this, like looking closer into it.
Well, I'm trying to discern if this was like something he is actively doing or if it's like an external thing. But sure, he's not trying to be like,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Sure, yeah. So that'll be a stealth or sleight of hand.
It's the same, but I do have advantage because of my boots.
Mm-hmm.
18.
You seeing as he's kind of waffling and talking to everyone, you try and take a closer look, focusing on the matrix. Inside of his casing, you see that the matrix isn't attached to anything. You can't really see the vines. It doesn't seem to be in vines at all. Instead, it seems to be almost like a gyro, constantly shifting and moving around. You see it's just kind of like in some sort of maybe magma, even, as it's just kind of held in heat. Either that or it's exuding a very powerful heat that is just keeping it aloft, like jet stream, just kind of keeping it there, hovering in the middle. Every time it's kind of shifting around and moving around, it kind of like stops for a moment. And that's when you see that red. The crystal itself, where you had previously seen etchings on the matrix, very fine details. You see the scratches on this one, but they are red. and they are in a spiral formation. And then it just continues shifting around.
Bitch ass dude.
Lisa just kind of nods to himself. And I'm assuming when you need maintenance, you go over to somebody else, or does somebody here perform?
I am the one who does so.
On yourself?
Well, no, I receive a third party that goes on to myself.
Yeah.
They
that's
come
what I'm
in
saying.
ritually to ensure that I am fine. Another member of the Oxydermis.
Have they been recently done?
No, they have not.
I see. Oh. How often do you usually do these?
Well, not too often, but sometimes we have a bit of a scare. We had a moment where all of us were resting, taking some downtime in the spire that we are in at the moment, and there was a rumble, a shattering of glass, and we had felt a disturbance. I wanted to ensure that all of the matrices were fully safe. We don't see much combat anymore. We are called warforged, but we are more protectors. We prevent war. So I try and ensure that all of the crystals are tip-top.
So it's a case-by-case basis.
Oh, yes, for sure. I may do one every 10 years, but yes, case by case, depending if there is trouble.
Yeah, kind of like deciding when to go to the doctor. Should have checkups here and there, but mostly when something comes up.
Yes, precisely.
Well,
Once I have done all the routine checks of the other warforged here, I will then get myself seen to.
Makes sense. Very. I respect that you look after all of them so dearly.
Well, they are my family, so I ensure that they are safe. Even Floke here, and he gestures over. A very special warforged, mind you. Not like the others, although he has the same heart, the same courage as everyone else.
I was
Your
going to
crystal
ask,
is slightly different.
is it affected by the element of nature, perhaps? Like you talked about.
That's right. It is. A special iodine crystal found in the very depths of a forest, emerging from a tree, rather than blooming out of the rock and salt.
Almost like an amber.
Very much so.
Very interesting. Well, Alicia turns to everyone. Have we asked all the questions we wanted to?
I've been curious about something, if you don't mind. How does one operate your matrix cleanser?
Well, it is quite simple. You were to extract the matrix very carefully, of course. Ensure that they are in a state of rest. Pluck out the matrix and simply place into the machine. There is a gestation period where it takes some time for the process to complete, but after a few hours, it will be fully ready to be extracted and placed back in.
Do you usually get visitors? We're sorry if we've been kind of intruding on your work.
Somewhat. They sometimes come by and say hello. But no, not mostly. Since you are brought here by an entrusted friend, he gestures to Floke. You have privileges that some others do not.
Alicia's gonna walk over to Helen. Right. Who was the last person then that had the honors? Just curious. Oh. We lost Max. We're losing everyone.
As soon as I turned on Brooke's camera, I disappeared. They disappeared. It all went to
Jesus
shit.
Christ. Did you hear what I
I'm
said?
very
Or
bright.
Yeah, I'm gonna turn it down. This was from last time. Sorry. There we go. Say that again, Robbie.
What did I say? Who were the last guests?
Can you roll a persuasion check?
For
Helen's will return to trying to keep up their cover of we're asking about trade, and goes, yes, if you don't see people that often, is there anything that you're really missing? I mean, you seem to have a lot here, but if we were to be expanding our networks, is there anything you'd really be wanting for out here?
Okay, you can roll a persuasion check too.
double.
Okay.
Let's go. That's fine.
To Alicios, you see he just kind of, well, although you are friends of Floke, matters have come into this room or not are down to the privileges of those who call this place home. I would not want to be sharing stories or tales of where others have been without their permission.
Oh, of course. Sorry, it wasn't meant to be. I didn't mean to be nosy.
At Helen's question, but expansion is always a possibility, of course. If you are looking for work, I am sure that we can facilitate. What sort of work do you deal in?
Well, we have recently, well, I say recently, a while ago now, time flies, acquired a trading vessel and are trying to set up networks and all the traveling and are, going from place to place, trying to get a gauge of what perhaps we could specialize in, what is needed where.
Yes. Ulrin is experienced in finding rare stones and minerals and gems, and he's quite crafty himself. If you would like or need anything.
Yes, we have quite the skill set and quite the ability to travel, so we can really acquire most things you may need.
Well, we're always in need of rare materials, especially iodine crystals. So if you could come across any that stand out as special, the Oxydermers would be very grateful. We're always looking to find the most unusual, to study and learn why they have become what they are. Sometimes it is merely the environment that causes it. We have found some in the Shadowfell that have gained abilities that are almost of creation, of possibility, where time can freeze for a moment, or everything around them slows indefinitely. There is a certain danger that these iodine crystals can have in the wrong hands. Ours are very safe. And of course, you will be rewarded greatly for it. I believe the going rate for an iodine crystal is around 10,000 gold pieces. Find any rarer and you'll be gifted a handsome share. If not, perhaps more of our materials, such as Vitri, as Ulrin has become more accustomed to.
And
Helen will kind of make a take out a notepad and kind of make a note of that.
Mhm.
Stash it away and kind of nod.
If we come across iron crystals that have been placed in the wrong hands, and we manage to retrieve them, should we bring them here to you?
Iodine
Or is there
crystals
somebody-
are made in this world and they are a gift for everyone to take. If you deem it so that you wish to keep it, or if these people own them, I do not wish you to steal from them.
I meant if they're in the wrong hands. If somebody was abusing.
A scalpel in the wrong hands can also be very dangerous. It is a very systematic approach to things. Do not fret if you see someone abusing its power. If you wish to intersect, then that is of your will.
Understood.
But yes, I would be happy to receive more iodine crystals. And for that matter, if you come across another shard of glass, you may give them then to them as well. I'm sure they will be equally as grateful. If you're traveling far and wide, you will come across a few on your journey.
All right. Thank you for all the information.
Thank you for coming by and sharing your story and having an interest in us. It is my pleasure.
Noble thing to seek knowledge. Good doctor was especially curious. It's not every day you can learn so many things, and kind of will give Alicio like a bit of like a shoulder hug, shoulder pat, and
Yes.
continue.
I want to help anyone I can. That includes warforged. So it's good to know at least the basics of how to help them or where to get them help. Thumbs up.
He just kind of nods and he's going to kind of let you guys, if you have any more questions, ask them. But if not, he's just kind of just there.
Well, I believe Fluke over there does owe us a dinner at that restaurant, if I'm not wrong. So we don't want to keep you distracted any longer.
That is fine. You must gain substance and nutrition. But thank you for coming. And, well, perhaps I will see you again soon.
Gladly. This
Oh,
visit was
yes.
very educational. I recently came across a chapter in the laws of Moradin about golemancy, and it is very interesting to see the distinctions between the warforged and a more common craft.
We are certainly a different breed. Not to say that they are lesser. Sentinels, golems, they all serve a purpose. They have commands to ensure. But don't think that what we possess is any different to what they have. Our matrix may give us an understanding of sentience, a grander picture to everything. The others, these creations, they're beginning to learn. Sentinels, golems. Everything is starting to almost wake up. Fascinating. Truly special. Soon,
Just with
we'll all be the same, I'm sure.
after being in here a while, does he give off normal? I guess it applies to all the Warforged, but do they give off normal sentiment? do they have normal feelings, or does it feel different?
You do, yeah. You see the sentiment coming off of them, rather than kind of like their heart, their head, wherever their minds may be. You are seeing it exude from the crystals. As well, if you could, Helen, roll a investigation check.
Come on, big number. Big number.
All right, 21. You're seeing the sentiment that oozes from them, but now you notice the marking. Because you have not like a constant telepathy with everyone around you, but you can almost sense your party members when their hearts like drop or they notice something, like something in them like shifts. It's like when the wind just changes direction. You notice it. You'd notice it from Alicio, and now you see it yourself. For a moment, in the very center of their chest, you see the marking of the void. You see that red spiral etched into the crystal. And you can sense the sentiment oozing from them. You can also sense something dormant. That sigil isn't alive. It's not active at the moment. But you can sense almost like this pulling motion, as if that rune, that spiral were to be active, perhaps they would be siphoning sentiment and become almost a nexus, like a black hole, if you will. That's what you notice.
But we don't notice that on the other warforged that he's working on currently. We didn't see it on that iodine crystal.
No, but he is currently working on it, so.
Okay.
All right.
At least you just gives a look to Helen.
Fucking spirals. Fucking spirals,
The
man.
spirals are everywhere.
And they sneak into your house and just draw spirals in the like corners of all your rooms. Just torment you.
I'd love that. Please do. It would really jazz up the place. So that'd be great. Some spirals. Okay. Is there anything else you wish to discuss with Quattrus, or is that it?
Helen doesn't have anything.
Yeah.
It's a shame Leonie's not here.
I know.
RFP.
Internet not working. You're muted, Robbie.
I just said nope. I just said we'll probably head off before he gets any more fucking suspicious of us.
Sure. Okay.
Helen chose the worst person to rely upon for a cover-up story.
All right. Then, as the group of you prepare to leave, you see he kind of just issues a goodbye. Floke will stand there for a moment. As one by one you leave. You hear Quattrus just say, "And Floke, don't remember, you still need to get service, so please come by perhaps later tonight, and we can do it then, slightly above schedule." He looks at you guys. Yeah, of course.
Oh, but aren't you taking us out to dinner? I'm sure we'll have you occupied till the wee hours of the morning. And just kind of like buddy, like kind of elbows him.
Deception check, please, Helen.
Hey, we're gonna go with him.
I'm surprisingly not that great at lying, so let's see how this goes.
How?
Okay.
She's just very persuasive. She's a bullshit artist, not a liar.
A bullshit artist. Okay. Let's roll for him.
Go. Oh, thank God.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't have a 10.
I don't know what bonuses he has. It might be high.
Don't have a +9.
Okay.
Might be. It might
He
be. We might
acknowledges
be
and he says, well then, no, you will be the last one, so tomorrow if necessary. But I'd prefer to do it earlier than later, just in case you aren't feeling perfect, as everyone else is. Okay. Thank you, Quetros. I will see you then. Let's go, friends. Let's go and have a lovely meal. And he just begins to exit
Yep.
alongside the rest of you. Okay. You leave. You head upstairs to the exit of the central spire, and you're now on the outside. Nighttime is beginning to approach quicker and quicker. It is now about 4 p.m. It's still summertime, so the days are longer, but still, it's getting there. But yeah, what you guys do?
As we get out of there and are like reasonably far away, Helen's gonna try and mind link. Yeah, is gonna try and mind link with our good friend there.
Okay. Can each one of you roll a stealth check, please?
Yes.
A stealth check.
Oh god, why?
Oh god.
Can I just choose?
Oh,
I thought it was Arne. Fuck.
No, can I just
No.
choose
He
to
got
fail
so
this?
happy.
Because rolling at disadvantage is not good.
Of course, you can choose to fail.
Nice,
no,
okay.
don't. Just roll. You might
We
get
already
two nat
failed.
20s.
Just
You
roll.
don't know. You don't know. Just do it.
Helen already is like the most noticeable person, given she is wearing a unicorn horn bedazzled crop jacket.
Yeah.
I want you to know, Oren has
You roll for
disadvantage on
cows.
this with
I
a
will.
+1. This is not going to work.
I believe.
It'll be
I
fun.
believe in the heart
It'll
of the
be
cards.
fun.
Yeah, sure.
69, baby. Woo.
Yeah, I really showed you with that 6.
696.
Hey, it's
Um,
better than that one.
Okay.
Yep.
You guys leave the central spire. What's everyone's passive perception? Remind me again, who has the
18.
highest? I always forget.
16.
18, I think that's the highest.
I think
Otherwise,
Cal might have a high perception. thing.
16 is their
Okay.
passive.
Then
so
I
To be
be
fair, that's
Alessio.
pretty high.
15 for
Okay.
me.
15? Okay, so
How do I
18 is the
perceive?
highest. Well, let's check. Okay.
I perceive shit.
You perceive fuck all.
Yeah.
But yeah, you exit. You look around for a moment because there is this like feeling that
Uh-huh.
because there are two unknown enemies around you, they are patrolling. They're around the settlement. You never know where they are unless you're looking for them. As you are just having this moment of leaving the spire, no one's been here to like look out, have they? No one's been here to see if they've been or gone, these demon dogs. So as soon as you leave, you're kind of like, oh shit, where could they be? Are we spotted? Are they seeing us? Are they watching us right now? As it's getting darker, it's harder to see things. And yeah, you're just unsure.
No, I'm not gonna do it.
I shout
have-
into the void.
No, I have a locate creature, but
Okay.
okay. Does Helen do the mind link thing or?
Yeah, Helen will mind link with our good friend.
Okay.
Which one?
Our companion
Floke.
for Floke, yes.
Mhm.
Floke. Well,
Even though
try
he
and
is a
mind link with-
warforged, you can mind
They
link with
have minds. We'll mind
Mhm.
link
Yeah.
with Floke and go.
him.
I would.
Hello?
Helen would just go, "Hello, it's me, Helen. Just keep walking."
Okay.
And would kind of just continue like wandering in the direction we're going. Goes, "You and any others who haven't been for maintenance yet should come up with as best excuses you can not to would be my dearest suggestion.
Well, that would be 3 of us, as 2 of them were already on the bench getting maintained when we went down. So I can try and find them.
You should invite them to dinner with us. It's a noble excuse.
Okay. Then I will try and find them. But
We
where will I
should-
meet you?
Why don't we all go together? And then Helen out loud would say, "Oh, we should gather a couple more people around, have a proper dinner, introduce ourselves a little bit more. Don't you think?" And we kind of just turn to Floke. Just kind of like she's put on like a very jolly kind of demeanor.
Why?
Yes, I think we should. I have a couple of friends that could be really interested in this watching you eat.
Well, we're learning more about each other. It's dialogue. Interesting. Cultural exchange.
Yes. Culturally enriching environment.
Jesus Christ.
I think I know where they are, so follow me. And he will just begin to guide you towards the back end of the spire that is being repaired.
Helen's just kind of looking around, walking around. You know.
Alicia noticed that she noticed the spiral, or because right now he's just kind of like, Helen, Helen, can we talk?
Oren just doesn't know anything's wrong.
Alicia's just gonna pull back the main party a little bit. Why are we inviting more people? We need to talk.
Helen would just lean in very close to Alicia and go, "Well, the more the merrier. You know, a lot of them have been preoccupied. A couple of them are, less busy. So I figured, why not? So it's got friends."
Just very confused look towards Helen. Okay. We don't want it to spiral out of control. Helen.
Yeah, Helen would just kind of go, "Well, I know, but loosen up a bit, Always better to make some new friends while you can."
Right. You might need to help me out with that one.
"Oh, I'm great at talking to people. We can, it'll be great. Cultural exchange. We'll all learn a lot. Come on." Just kind of pull Alicio back to Floke.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
As Floke is leading the charge, you see he kind of like turns in situ, and you can see at the back end of this area there is more scaffolding, but there are 3 other people, warforged, working at the back. You see 3 warforged. They are just kind of trying to meld and keep everything nice and tight and clean. You see he looks over. "Oh, hi, Slew. Hi, Rama. Hi, Torque. How are you? I hope you're all doing fine." You see they turn around. "Oh, hey, Floke. Yeah, we're doing just swell. Thank you very much for asking. What made this be? Do you have an issue with something, or can we help, or..." Well, actually,
Helen
I
will
was hoping-
enthusiastically wave at them.
"Oh, these are my friends. We're actually going to go out for food. Yes, I will be watching them eat. So I was hoping that maybe Rama and Torque, you guys could join us for some food, watching our friends eat. And
To know each other, cultural exchange. We have some great
That's-
stories.
yes, that.
We'd love to learn more about all of you,
You see the 2 of them kind of. You see the 3rd one look over. Hi. How about me? Can I Can I come with you guys? Can I join in this? I love a culturally enriching environment and sharing my story and hearing other people. Floke just kind of like side eyes the group. No, Slew. No. We only have 2 more seats. Not this time.
Next time, maybe.
Oh, was it because of what I said to the others? No. 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 Rama, Torque, let's go. Sure. And they kind of jump down. All 3 of them simultaneously just kind of wave towards Slew. See you, Slew! Bye, guys.
Poor Slew. I would have given him a hug if Elise.
And it just continues to work. This is going to be really difficult alone. Okay. You see, he begins to like operate with some things.
Sorry, buddy. This is
He reaches
for the
over
good
to
of
another
everyone.
one. He knocks over a bucket. It lands on the ground, 10 feet to the floor. He huffs. He gets up from the scaffolding, climbs down. As he climbs down, his foot lands in the bucket. He shakes the
Stop making us
scaffolding.
feel bad.
You see Floke just like whisper to you guys, don't feel too bad. I don't think I could have invited him. Not just because he's had maintenance, but he's not a good party guest. So
Oh, why?
well, I prefer not to embarrass him, but let's just say he got overly curious about newcomers to the settlement. That's all I feel comfortable sharing.
Helen's just going to kind of pat him on the shoulder and goes, that's very kind of you. You know, it's good to have, empathy for others, even if they're a bit overzealous with certain things.
I know. It's not his fault, but he was just assembled differently. That's all. Okay, food! And he just kind of like guides the rest of you back to the dining experience. Whilst that's happening, you guys kind of think about what you want to do next as we go for a little break, since we're at the halfway mark. So we'll have a quick 5-minute break, and we'll be back to more chaos, more threads. I don't know. Whatever that is. Bye. Be right back.
Bye. something. Oh, never mind.
You can keep talking. It's
Hello.
fine. Welcome back.
I just wanted to
Hi.
say that you remember my magic circle plan thing that I wanted to do. Turns out there's a spell for that. Wee glyph of wording where I could have it be placed somewhere and activate based on certain circumstance of events.
That's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
but
right.
that takes. Isn't that a ritual?
It takes a few minutes of casting time, I
It
think.
does take a fucking hour. No, wait, does it
Yeah.
last an hour or is it? Hold on.
Because I've had that
You
on
cast
Peace Cleric. From memory, it takes a bit to cast. Like it's a
Mhm.
pre-prep thing.
It does.
Which-
Yeah.
Oh my god, a fucking wall of text, bro. Holy moly.
Just look at casting time. Casting time.
The
That's what you need
worst
to see.
enemy of D&D players.
Should be at the
But
beginning.
it says
Words.
like, is this how long it lasts, or is this how long it takes to cast? 'Cause
Does it
Casting
say
time will be
casting
how long
time
it
or
takes
duration?
to cast.
yeah, but does it say if it's casting time or not? It just
Right,
says
Pop the
let me have a
2
look.
hours. Help!
Glyph.
Help!
Glyph. Glyph. Let's see.
Glyph of wording.
Glyph. It takes an hour to cast
Okay. Well, how long does it last though? Does it just last
until it's
like-
triggered.
Definitely.
Oh shit! Okay.
Until triggered.
Okay. I can.
It says duration until dispelled or triggered. So you can have 1,000 of these cast if you wanted to in your house. And then,
Just like a
Which
really
is why
paranoid
nobody's
person ready
breaking
to
into
like
wizard house.
nuke it.
that's why. Ain't nobody going to be messing with no wizards. But yes, the party, the gang have been chatting off stream. They're planning what to do. So
Yeah.
now, as we come back, you guys have now found yourselves in the same room you were before for dinner. You see the guy kind of, hello, welcome back. I didn't realize you were at the table I had. I'll tell them to leave. You see, he walks in. Excuse me, guys. Sorry. The people who were here before, they have taken this table. I'm gonna have to ask you to leave if that's okay. Inside, you just see kind of shifting of two people moving. They walk out. You see Gil and Diplor leave the table. They look at the group of you. All right. I'm not even going to ask. And he just kind of leaves. Enjoy your private dining. Float just looks around at everyone and then walks through. Thank you, sir. Fish. Man.
Alicia leans to Helen. Are they a thing? Like,
Gil looks
Feel
over his
any kind of
shoulder.
I didn't say that in English.
Helen-
I leaned over to Helen.
Helen turns
He
around
has a
and
high passive.
extends the feely feelers, the feeling feelers.
Were they on a date?
Were they on a date? Did we just interrupt their fine dining
It was
experience?
a private room. I'm just saying.
Alicio, can you roll a con save, please?
What the fuck? For what?
What feelings were they feeling?
16.
Okay. That's a failure. Um,
What?
you feel your heart skip a beat for a moment.
Hey,
Gil looks at
Stiff.
you. I'd prefer if no one were to, start rumors. Okay.
Hey, man. No rumors. Just
Are they
curious.
true rumors?
No, they're not. Not true.
What is he feeling in this moment?
Roll an insight check.
He's
Fucking hell.
being honest.
Combat,
God, that's
no.
why that's
Romantic
why-
side plot. Fuck.
No idea.
No, that's why he spared Diplor.
It-
He's madly in love.
I,
He's trying to
I-
make Fennel jealous.
This might be the one thing that needs a crit. Clearly. Nah.
Two of them leave you guys to your private dining. You now are with Floke, Torque, and Rama. These two are the warforged that are now sat with you, just watching you guys at the table, waiting to order your food.
Helen will she'll sit like between two of the warforged, like sit in the middle of them, so that she can like, mix it up and would like. I'm guessing is there a menu?
Yeah, that's
Yep.
She'd kind of pull up the menu and like look through it, and she'd be doing her best to like describe, because they don't eat like food, so she'd be trying to describe. She's doing her best. Oh, what's it called? Like descriptive storytelling of like trying to
what a burger
explain.
tastes like.
She's using her imagination.
Okay.
And just trying to like decide what she's gonna eat, but like out loud weighing her options.
Can you roll a performance check? You see one of the warforged rubbing their kind of metal stubble, just scraping it. It's like, very interesting. Describe more. As he's just kind of like squinting and analyzing. What does this hot dog taste like?
That is a question for the ages. No one knows. Each hot dog might be different.
So, like, usually the bread they have is more like spongy all the way through. Like, when you get loaves of bread, sometimes like the outside is like crunchy, like if you were to like a metal almost, like an organic thing, like if you were to crush it. But with hot dogs, they don't have the crust like that. So it's just the like spongy part. And it kind of tastes like very neutral. Like it's kind of the wood of foods. It's everywhere. Everywhere has kind of different versions of it, but it all kind of is the same more or less. And then hot dogs is like, well, some places definitely have better ones than others, but like the meat portion of it is very much like it's very much an alloy of meat. And so it's a little bit of everything. So depending on where you are, it's slightly different mixtures. And then you can put different like condiments on it, which have like different flavoring, like different oils. So all together, it kind of works out, you know? It's nice. Like some people like to put different toppings on them.
So it's kind of like an inoffensive food. No one really has an opinion, and anyone can make it whatever they like.
Yes. Everywhere does it a little different. It's good. It's a solid choice.
Thank you for sharing.
At
What is
least
your favorite food?
At least
And he
Yoko's only had fine
slowly
dining.
turns
What
their
the
head
fuck is
to
a hot
Ulrim.
dog?
Ulrim, what is your favorite?
It's a custom recipe.
Oh, imaginative.
Yes. First off, you slice some tomatoes. Start frying them in a pan. Add some wine.
You add liquid to food?
Yes. It enhances the taste.
Okay.
Anyway, after being dripped in wine and fried, you can add them to a pre-prepared salad of mostly whatever you'd like. I enjoy carrots and potatoes. And that you mix with
Of it just becomes edible?
Oh, it's quite tasty. To me.
Interesting. Well, it sounds very pleasant.
Helen's just looking at Ulrin like, I need to make more deconstructed foods for you.
Before
But
we continue,
Kel's looking like he has
Max,
PTSD from something.
guys got
We've
some-
reconnected. Don't
Are
worry.
you sure?
Yeah, it's just that it's reconnected now. It
Okay.
should.
Chat
should be fine now.
confirm. Are we live?
My internet had a moment.
It had a hiccup.
Yeah.
Why can't I
RIP.
see that? Oh dear.
The internet's not cooperating with the game today.
No,
No.
it's not cooperating with us today at all.
All
Okay,
around.
We're back.
Yeah. I saw it like drop and then, yeah, just slowly built back up again. Very odd. Very, very odd. But anyway.
Continue.
So, Ulrin, you describe
I-
a hodgepodge meal.
Basically, this all combines into a grayish sludge.
Yes. It is your masterpiece of a meal that Cal loathes eating. But you see the Warforged like, very interesting. This sounds quite appetizing to me. Perhaps I may try this one, seeing as we have a lot of, well, vegetation around here. I might try it. Thank you.
You should. It gets little appreciation from around my parts, so if you are to enjoy it, I'd be glad.
I
See, he
don't-
nods.
Need to eat, but you might appreciate the different textures of different foods. Because you can feel that more than you can taste it. So it might be a fun exercise.
Very
Yeah,
true.
it has a great blend of textures. While chewing on the sludge, you occasionally come across a wine-soaked carrot.
Oh.
Cal, you see, is like just like starting to throw up in her mouth.
Yeah.
Ulrin, please.
Oh no!
someone-
If you start doing that, then I'm gonna
Like-
throw up.
Helen points to like her favorite food on the menu and is describing that in a much more appealing type way to the workforce.
Yeah, they completely dismiss you now, Helen. They're like looking at Ulrin, going, yes, I can make this. Pulverize. You see Float just answer, well, surprisingly so, we do have a Warforged that are excellent cooks. It's just following a recipe after all, so they have tasters, of course, that help. But anyway, we're getting distracted to the matter at hand. Guys, and he looks over towards Torque and Rama. Well, we have a problem. We have a serious problem.
Helen like shushes him down a little bit just to be more quiet.
I'm sorry, but it's harder for me to whisper.
It's so hard to order. I know. It's very difficult. So many options. Anyway. Yes,
So-
we do have a problem at hand.
The two kind of look over. Okay, what's the problem? I've never seen Floke so animated before.
Well.
Helen,
Oh, Helen, would you?
no, you go.
No, you. It's fine.
You take
I
it.
would also like to actually go rest if that's all right before we do anything.
Helen would pat Alicia on the shoulder. It's all right. I'll bring you some room service.
Is this a tavern or is this a restaurant?
It's a restaurant.
Yeah.
I'll bring you some. I'll bring
Can
you
I,
a dog bag.
There's no
Can I, like-
inns in the settlement.
like cross my legs, meditate because I don't need to sleep. I need to trance, which is just
You could just sit in this room for 4 hours if you wanted to, yes.
yeah.
But that means you aren't partaking in any conversations. You're just being the awkward kid at a party, just sat in the corner playing
Yeah,
on
so
their
at
Game
least
Boy.
do anyway.
Yes, pretty much.
He'll be there for like this
It's-
conversation, but then
It's up to you, but it has to be uninterrupted. So if you do 2 hours, then you move somewhere else, then the clock
I
would be
know.
reset, but not 100%, but still, you'd need to gain the lost time that you had. So it's up to you. If you end up as a group staying here for 4 hours, that sounds feasible. But
Do they have
otherwise,
booze here?
you are in a booth. This is kind of like a private area. This restaurant is
Booze.
booze. Yes, they have booze. Yes, they have booze. Of course, they have booze.
Okay, that gives us more of a reason to be here like 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Helen would kind of order like she's trying to like whatever she thinks will take longest for them to make. Like all the things she'll think will take longest for them to construct. She
And make
orders
them
like
gluten
3
free.
courses of it. Yeah. Like appetizer, like main dish. She's like, oh, look at dessert
With, like,
later. Like she's
pages.
ordering. Yeah,
Can
she's
you-
ordering.
Can you roll a performance check at advantage? Just
We're like
to
the
see how
worst
well
type
it's
of people
full.
right
She's
now.
I mean she'll pay for it. Like she's paying for it.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice.
Helen is like just she'll order like wine. She's doing the we will be here and we have all the excuses to legitimately stay here for that amount of time possible.
Okay, as you're ordering food, you see the kind of chefs, the maitre d', they all kind of like play to your high standards that you're looking for at this establishment. That is a very ramshackle, just hut in the middle of the fucking settlement. So you're just ordering this fine dining, which they can provide. It takes a while to get to your standards, so it gives you the excuse to be here for this long. No one seems to grow suspicious. No one's questioning anything. You are here with intent. So if you wish to stay here for 4 hours, you're more than welcome to. You can have a short rest in this time for those of you who aren't trancing. For Alicio, if you're going to wait here for 4 hours, you will complete a long rest for your race.
Okay.
One thing I will say though, 4 hours is a long time. What's happening with the other team? Because you had told Coraline to head back to them and inform them of what's going on, but you've not spoken to them since. With 4 hours of grace, there will be some questioning, and most likely they will be acting without you, unless you were to get in contact with them with what your plan is.
Do we still have the
mean-
thing to contact them?
I think a sending stone was given to you,
Yeah.
Uh,
Okay.
a sending stone which
before-
links to the other sending stone.
Can we say that Cal has it? Then Cal's doing this.
Okay.
Uh,
Hold on. Before we use up that one thing, can I do ascending before I do my long rest to
Sure.
I'm gonna do that. 25 words, alright. Somebody count.
Shit.
I'm gonna
Right.
test it to the Goliath.
Pieth Grana. Yep.
Yep. I will never be able to pronounce her name.
It's okay.
We're gonna give her a nickname.
Life of Pi.
Slightly under control. Don't act yet. Will try to help. Very like quote unquote help warforged. Don't start anything that might alert anyone. Please. Stay safe. Alicio.
Okay. Can you
Bye.
also roll a persuasion check, please?
Yep. Fuck.
Okay.
May I reroll, please, with my game?
If you wish to.
Yeah.
You send the message. Response comes through. Okay. You have it under control. I trust you, Alicio. But the longer we wait, the more we jeopardize not just ourselves, but you and the rest of the settlement. If you think you can handle this, then fine. But how long will we be waiting for? This is a team operation, not one-sided.
Well, shit, I can't respond.
Well, she's going to send a sending spell to you.
Okay.
The longer we wait, the more we play our hand. We have the element of surprise now. We wait any longer, we might not. If you think it is worth it to wait this time, tell me if you think this is the right choice. If you are at all unsure, then we must come up with something else. We have to work on 100%.
Okay.
Tell them the plan. They still don't know what the fuck we are doing.
I told them we're okay.
Yeah, you told them
Just
literally
for
nothing.
reference, and nobody can hear what I'm saying, right?
Nope.
Okay.
Not with this. Not with this sending spell.
I was worried with that. Okay. We'll try handling the warforged threat tonight. Give us very late evening / morning. Maybe be on standby, but we need discretion in this case. Otherwise,
You're out of words. I think.
25?
Yeah,
was-
I think that was
yeah.
25.
Otherwise,
Uh,
implied.
Roll another persuasion check, please.
Roll better this time. Big.
And
Okay. She's going to send another sending spell.
for fuck's sake. Okay.
I understand. But the rest of us here do not know what we're walking into if something were to happen. We do not know the lay of the land. We do not know the enemies we face. Only you do. We need to know more.
We can't be wasting.
The problem is, the problem that you face here by spending 4
Yeah, I
hours
know.
is that Life's Echo, they don't know nothing. They only know what Coraline is telling them. And that's third-party information. And even that information is third-party again, because it's you guys that have found it. So it's kind of like Chinese whispers to that effect.
Please just tell them what's going on. This is not a
I
secret.
have 25 words.
It's
I am
difficult. It's
trying
difficult.
to tell them. It's
If
not like
you
I'm
want-
not trying to.
If you want, you know that Coraline has gone in and out. You can have a conversation with her in person. But as well, you run into the chances that
Somebody's
camp gets covered, gets found, she gets followed. There's a lot of different elements that are in play. So that's why I want you guys to choose what you do carefully, because it will affect what happens next.
I know,
And,
this is why I don't want to go back to them, because I feel like we're being followed already. We like have eyes on our
Yeah,
back.
I don't think it's smart to go back to them.
and that's understandable. But these people, they, as much as they're supposed to be teamed with you, they also need to trust that you're capable enough, and not all of them are convinced. You've not gained that much of a good relationship with all of them for them to feel confident in each one of your skills.
Okay. 25 words. Give me a second.
Can you get these
So,
spells
out of
back?
game. Yes.
These are spells that Pietrgrana is casting.
She's casting, yeah, I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm
She
just
can
responding.
cast sending 3 times a day.
Okay.
So she's
How
cast
do
it
we
twice.
know how aware they are of the whole spiral situation?
They don't know anything. I don't think you told them.
Okay. So, I mean, you could say, like,
They
the main
know of
guy's
like
name.
the spiral stuff, like in terms of like the void. They know all that shit, but they don't know what's happening in this town. Only you
Okay.
guys know that.
Okay,
You've not
okay,
told
okay.
anyone because you've been
Just
scared
say,
to
like-
share
They
info.
told
Coraline.
Just say, like,
Coraline.
his name, infected, like, will deal with it, need time to recover first.
Tell them part of the plan. Need help restraining him.
Yeah.
Okay.
4 hours at the restaurant.
Quartus infected want to, what did we say? Did we say disable him or help him or want to deal with it?
Cure?
Want to cure. Need help with restraining. Meet at restaurant in 4 hours. Need to recover. Try not get spotted. That's it.
Try not get.
Spot. Yeah. Try not seen. Yeah, whatever.
Okay. If you could roll another persuasion check at advantage this time.
Okay. 22.
There we go. Much better.
Oh,
Way
thank
better.
you guys. Thank
Huge
you.
news. Huge news.
You send out the message. You were replying to theirs. Their final sending for the day, they will
Yeah.
cast. And they will respond with, understood. We will talk amongst ourselves, and we will see who is capable of helping you in this situation. We will be mindful of not being followed. And they will, whoever it is, meet you at this dining area. Coraline will go as well. You can talk to her and message back to us. But time is ticking. I know this is unavoidable. But I believe that you can handle yourselves.
Yippee. I don't
Right.
actually say that. Can I respond?
You can respond to that, yes.
Any other valuable information we should give, guys, in the last 25 words to these people?
Is it?
I mean, in case they get got, maybe tell them about the resistances of the dog, at least the one we know, a little bit,
Yeah,
just in case, because they
find
don't know that, and that would be super helpful to them to know for the remaining ones that are there in case they get found.
Okay. Info on dogs. Resistant. Cold. Immune. Paralyzed. Vulnerable. Psychic. Stronger when together. Can see through bushes. And hear. And teleport.
3 more.
3
All
words.
Warforged dangerous, maybe? Just to warn them?
Beware the Warforged.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. You send out the message with a bit more clear instruction this time, so they don't go AWOL and start doing stuff without your permission, because that is very possible, seeing as you are 2 different parties. You have the 4 hours to yourselves in this restaurant. Are all of you staying here for the 4 hours?
Yes. Helen is doing all the story time, all the when I was a kid, all like full like unrestrained chronic yapping.
Okay.
We'll also ask them questions, but is just like super pushing conversation,
Mm-hmm.
like old lady at the grocery store style.
Okay. Okay.
It's so specific.
You.
What point do we tell them that they're in danger? We still didn't.
I believe we did, didn't we? Or no?
I mean,
No, we
started
we
the
literally
conversation
interrupted
and
them.
then
Oh, we did
Yeah.
interrupt them.
can I just say that Cal might be keeping a lookout out just out
Sure.
the window.
I'll roll a perception check for Cal. If anyone else is having a look, let me know.
I am
Helen will be keeping an eye on the people inside the place, like the other cooks and stuff. And Helen will take time while she's storytelling in the beginning to mind link with each of them and kind of be like, the maintenance is a danger. We're worried about the other Warforged who have already had maintenance.
Okay.
We would recommend avoiding doing that. In more words than that, but
No, I
getting
understand.
that message across to them.
essentially.
As a general-
maintenance, no.
You share the information that you have with the other Warforged. They understand, they get it. They sympathize with Floke as well. So all 3 of them are on board by the time you kind of finish your dining experience here. Who else is keeping an eye out? Someone else say they were, or is it just...
Helen will be keeping an eye out on like the interior of where they are.
Okay.
Just like the chefs and I guess the waiters. And kind of just anything else that might be in the room that is
Perception or investigation? Either one.
I will be doing investigation.
23. You're very confident that the room itself does not have anything in it. The people that are coming in and out don't seem to be fishy at all. They're just serving you. Some seem disgruntled slightly, as you have asked for many demands when it comes to the food. But they still serve you nonetheless.
Yeah, she'll tip. She knows she's being a pain. She'll tip.
Okay. But yeah, seems fairly clear inside this room. What's outside the walls?
I can't hear you. I don't know if that's just me.
It might be me.
Oh,
Are we what?
you're back.
Hello?
Sorry, I don't know if the thing just cut out. I can hear you again now.
No, I
heard
think
him
it was
the entire time.
you. Yeah, Max was.
Okay, it might have just been on my end. Sorry. My bad.
No worries, no worries. The room is clear. You don't see anything there. You don't see anything on the people. However, what happens outside the walls, you have no idea what's going on. Every so often, you are basically in this outhouse, small little dining space with a curtain that flops open and closed. Every so often, it kind of like flies open. You now see that it is complete pitch black outside. It is nighttime. By the time you spend the 4 hours, the streets are pretty much empty. There are no lights in the streets because it's just a settlement that's been placed here. So it is under the cover of night, almost completely. Even the canopy of trees above in the settlement, it's a bit more clearer, but the trees are so thick and so large that they even cover some of the moonlight shining through. So it is like being in the thicket of a forest for the best part of it. But yes, towards the end, you finish your meditation, you finish your 4 hours. You see the waiter comes back in. Well, we're closing up now, but I hope you had a great time. It has been a pleasure serving all of you. Here is your final bill. And he slides over the bill to you, Helen, and you see it's 5 silver pieces.
Is that reasonable, or are they being like dramatically undercharged for some reason?
It seems like the price is probably under with the amount of stuff that you had. Probably under with the amount of stuff that you had.
Should pay them whatever she thinks like they should have been charged plus a
Yeah.
silver.
Okay. All right. So you end up paying about 7 silver, we'll say, for the whole thing. 7 silver paid. You wait there for a moment, gathering your things, preparing a plan. As the curtain opens for the waiter to leave, you see 2 people approach from the exterior towards the entranceway where you guys are sat. I will need 2 rolls. Who wants to roll these d20s?
Well, just D20s?
Yeah, just a
Out of-
1d20 each.
Feeling lucky?
Are they
Curiosity.
curse applicable D20s or non-curse applicable D20s?
That's a good question.
That is a good question, isn't it? I didn't specify.
I feel like Helen can roll both.
Yeah, go for it.
I'll roll one of them.
Okay.
Should I roll the other one as well, or do one of you two want to roll it?
I'll
We will now invoke the spirit of Cal.
Oh, shit.
yeah,
Cal rolls the other one.
All right.
yeah.
Cal, who's also been keeping watch.
Wait.
That's mad.
That
I
is
don't know if
pretty
that's
good.
good or bad.
13s has to
I
be
feel-
the worst possible result.
At least they're mid. At least they're not bad. You know what I mean? Like
Not under 10. you know?
13.
Oh. Wait.
Why is he counting? Why is he counting? I don't like
just
that he's
trying
counting.
to count things, okay? I'm just trying to make sure.
13
No.
demons.
No, no.
All right.
I feel like we just unlocked a special Halloween event or something.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Okay.
What do you mean?
All right. Now, I need to double check something again. I
Zion,
would
what are you
like-
doing?
Another one of you to roll a d20 at advantage, please.
You
You want me to do it?
do
Whoever
it.
wishes to.
You do it.
Okay,
You do it.
I'll
Fortune
do it.
boy.
Go at 16.
Okay.
I can't
Okay.
tell if us rolling high is good or not.
I don't know either. So at least we
Is it
rolled like
sounds like-
mid-ish numbers. I'll take mid-ish numbers. I feel like that's the least of the evils.
Okay. Very good. You see arriving to the
They're fucking
exterior.
stealth or some shit.
You see 2 people arrive. You see Coraline in the disguise of May Seeley, this long red-haired, pigtail sort of look to herself, very short, very kind of cute in her outfit. The other person that you see joining her is just remind myself, Sorrel. You see the Aarakocra, the kind of like dark, beaked, dark feathered Aarakocra that emerges and kind of blends in very well with the shadows as he joins the rest of you. They enter your space, so they aren't seen outside any longer. Coraline will speak up. Well, we're here, so have you got a plan in mind?
Yep.
Okay, you're all nodding, but what's the plan? Have you? She sniffs. Have you been drinking?
Not all of us.
Helen would have
Alright.
had like two or 3 units of alcohol over 4 hours. She's fine.
Hey, look, whatever you need to get over impending doom. So, whatever works for you.
So, the idea is, the main warforged corpus does seem to have been marked by,
Uh-huh.
And I'm assuming that now they have control over most of the warforged.
Well, that's not good.
However, I think if we manage to fix his crystal, the rest of them should be fine.
Okay.
Did you
How do we get in
understand?
and subdue him then?
Yeah.
Helen
Looks to
side
the-
eyes Floke.
Looks towards the
Um,
warforged. I don't know if you guys could convince him.
Well, you heard it yourself. It's quite rare for anyone else to enter. They were happy with just you, but if I were to bring two others, maybe that might grow suspicious. I don't know.
Well, we don't all have to enter directly to there. The rest can be nearby, but I'm asking, do you think you could convince him to let us help him?
That's a big question with an impossible answer. I don't know.
Well,
To
you're
be
close
fair,
to him.
I believe getting in will be the easy part. I do think that they will let us through. It's more about not getting thrown out by Quadrus himself after we arrive in his chamber. It seems he's making the decisions who gets to look.
Well, I'm just more asking if he would be willing to hear us out. Well, I feel like he would be more willing to hear you out than us. He knows you better and he might be more convincing if we have you on our side. Do you back up our story?
I can try, sure. It might be better if I go in alone then.
Are you sure?
Well, if I bring all of you and try and convince him then and there, it might look odd if I go alone and then bring you in afterwards. Maybe that'd be easier.
But in that case, we can't give you much time. I mean, if he does the procedure on you, then we'd have lost you too.
Wait.
I know.
Looks to Coraline. Can you make yourself look like one of them?
I can, yeah.
Well,
It hurts a little, but I can do it.
well, I didn't mean for you to get hurt, but it would be good to have one of our own.
That's fine. Just means my skin turns to metal, but it's fine.
Ouch. Okay. Do you think that could work? Looks to full.
We can try it, yeah. Sure.
I mean, he seemed to be a very observant person. I don't know if that's wise,
I guess.
the way he was looking at us. I mean, he'll know, he seems to have made most of the Warforged here. I mean, he'll know that she isn't one of his children. I think it's smarter if we're just nearby.
She is visually indistinguishable. So long as she doesn't talk and assumes the form of one of the three he's expecting.
You see Rama, one of the Warforged, kind of puts their hands up. I can wait outside with the rest of you, and she can take my place. You watch as Coraline, her body shifts and moves. You watch as the skin almost inverts and turns into this shiny metallic sheen, and she herself grows large into the form of the same Warforged in front of her. Even though a crystal emerges from the center of her chest, there is a glow. It glows like an iodine crystal or matrix.
Hmm. Okay.
Do I sense the underlying magic or something? Like, does her form feel different?
You can roll an Arcana check.
All right.
12. It is almost indistinguishable from what you can see. It looks like she has physically turned into something that is inorganic. She has turned into metal. She has turned into elements of a warforged. Even the crystal itself in the center chest looks real. Looks as if you could almost pull it out yourself.
Very impressive.
Tricks of the trade.
All right. Well, might not be best to do it now. We still need to walk to there. We don't want duplicates being seen.
You see Sorrel, the Aarakocra, kind of like begins to speak up. So, what am I exactly going to do? Because if we're looking to subdue this guy, well, I can do that quite easily.
How exactly?
Well, I have some tricks up my sleeve. I don't just paralyze, I can make them almost immobile completely, and you can do whatever you wish to them, and they just can't react at all. What I'll be doing is manipulating the shadows around them and causing them to paralyze completely. But that's if they are easily fooled. I'm not saying it's a 100%, but
Well, let's say that if he becomes unreasonable or is not willing to cooperate. The problem is, how will we know if things are going south? How far does your connection to minds thing work, Caroline? Is Max checking the stats?
if you're asking Coraline,
Yes.
Coraline will respond with, I can't sense anything behind those walls.
Oh, that's true. So we can't really rely on magic to help us communicate in that space. So it'll need to be some sort of physical thing.
The warning sigil. Can't we put? See, do you have alarm the spell? Out of character, do you have alarm the spell?
Good question.
Because if you put,
accept that.
I think I have. Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
because if you cast alarm into a warding sigil, the bell would go off on your hand. So we could off in your head outside, right? So maybe theoretically, if they triggered it, like if we make it like a press trigger, if you triggered it inside, it would
cast it. Yeah. This is a stretch. I don't know if this will work. No. I'm gonna say it. Fuck it. DM. How strong of a connection would you say Alicia has with his day?
It would be in the same sense that a magical focus can be used in hand. If the deck had a way to be used outside of your own hands, then perhaps, but as far as I'm aware, it doesn't.
I'm wondering not to give the whole deck, but a single card, but I don't know.
I'd say it wouldn't work that way.
Yeah.
I understand where you're trying to go with it, but
I know.
I don't think that's how That would work,
Well, guys,
unfortunately.
who's getting the plastic cups and a string?
Give me a second. I'm checking what the artificer class can make. At level 1, you can do little things with magical tinkering.
You can make
But no.
stones that play sounds or display images with whatever it is called.
Yeah, but I was thinking maybe I can make an apparatus that can move outside, but I can't.
No, they're like level 1 artificer things are like very, very basic.
Mm,
I mean, we have the ripcord stone, right? The one sending.
the one-way sending one that we got from the Goliath, I believe.
To be fair, I don't think that will work. Just like literally any
Yeah,
other
anything
sending spell.
magic.
Any mode of communication will not work at all. The whole point of the glass is that it
Wait,
stops
but then-
everything.
But then if nothing is working, then we know they can be alerted, no? Because if no way of communication is coming through, they can be alerted as long as we keep them in that room.
That's
Our
what Oren had
priority-
learned.
Yep.
Should be to keep him in that room while all of that is going on. So, hear me out. Kind of stupid idea. Cartoonishly. I feel like we should all be on the other side of that door, essentially.
Yeah, if we all just get in there, as long as we can keep him in there.
Well, we don't have to all at once go in there. If we let in Caroline and Fluke go in first, but we're hiding right behind them, like behind the door, and he doesn't spot us immediately, we can be there on standby in case he doesn't agree or things go south to stop him from leaving.
Yeah. Do we have anything to
him.
like block up a door?
Technically, yes, I do.
Okay. Okay.
Well, DM confirm I could place my thingies to essentially block.
I believe so.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Okay,
just
okay.
put my giant ass fucking guardian of faith in the middle of there, and what are they gonna do? Walk through it?
Okay, so the plan is for all of you to go in, right?
Well,
Well,
all of you to go there. They try and convince him. If they don't convince him,
then we go in the room.
But
But-
all of you are going into the building, right? Just not directly into the room
Okay.
straight away.
Question
yes.
to
Yes.
the sorcerer. Do you
Yes.
perhaps have invisibility of some kind or ways to sneak someone in?
Oh, yes, but mine is a slightly shorter version, a more potent one, but one that's shorter. I could encompass us all in darkness, but that might cause issue for some of you.
And would also be very noticeable for everyone outside
Only if they had eyes, yes.
only.
You see, Coraline will speak up as the Warforged. I can cast invisibility on a few of us if you wanted to. I can cast it on 3 people.
Okay, that would be good. At least that way some of us can get inside unnoticed.
But if I drop concentration, then that means all of you are going to be seen.
We just need to get inside the building.
All right.
I mean, Alessio, if the 2 of us go visible, I mean,
Yes.
we talk to him the most. I think it's the less intrusive option. I mean, we could even maybe go. But yes, if Ulrin and Cal and then. What's
The other
Soul?
Warforged
Sorry, yeah,
being copy or Sorrel.
Sorrel. I was saying take Sorrel. So Cal, Oren, Sorrel, Invis, the two of us visible. Because they still take up space, but we can kind of occupy the space, you know what I mean? Just like be curious to allow them to maybe sneak past if we need to like chat to the doorman kind of
Like
thing.
fan out.
Yeah, we're the distraction essentially for the invisible guys to go inside.
Okay. So Cal, Ulrin, and Sorrel, those three are going to be invisible by Coraline.
Yep.
Coraline's going to be in disguise as the Warforged. Elicio, Helen, the two of you are going in as normal.
Yeah. We're being curious and annoying.
Okay.
Yep.
Then, because the place isn't too far away, Coraline's going to cast the invisibility spell now. So Cal, Ulrin, the two of you are going to be invisible for the duration. As each one of you leave, I will ask you to roll a stealth check. If you could.
The invisible or everyone?
Everyone. Those invisible have advantage.
My god, bro. Well, are we trying to be stealthy? I feel like we're trying to be a distraction.
Yeah, but we're still trying to be real subtle about it, so it's fair.
You're not trying to grab the attention of the demons, you know? That's the main question.
That is very true.
I
will reroll mine with my cape, thank you very much.
Okay.
Do it. Much better. Much better.
Much better.
Cal, stealth check at advantage.
Sheesh.
Jesus Christ, Cal.
Coraline.
Jeez.
Rama.
Hey, nice.
Talk. Float.
Oh.
All right.
Wait.
Yes.
Should Flock be going? Because we're gonna have two Flocks walking around.
Well, Floak isn't the one that's
being mimicked.
One being is it Rama?
Rama's been swapped by Coraline.
Should they be?
You want them to stay
with us? Because there's gonna be a fucking duplicate of them walking around. So
they don't need to come.
we'll just tell them to like chill in the restaurant. That's close.
Yeah, I don't think they should come with us because if we're there, that he told us that there are no other warforged who can fix them. So even if like they get brought in, we will be there. So I'm less worried about that, to be honest.
Okay. Then Rama will stay behind.
Run for the hills.
That was the last roll, so no natural 2 on that one. But as a whole, you all do fairly well. You had 2 nat 20s in there, so that helps greatly. I will be rolling. Okay.
Gulp.
All right. Now I'm going to ask a question. I will need 2 d20s being rolled. You want to roll a 6 or higher.
6 or higher, okay.
Yes.
That's decent odds, right?
Who's doing it?
Who's doing it?
Alright, fucking fine, I'll do it. Jesus fucking Christ.
You do one, I'll do one.
Okay. Hold hands virtually.
Wait, I should do one. Can I affect those with inspiration?
Which inspiration do you mean?
Like DM inspiration. I have 2 of those.
All right. Sure.
Wait,
okay.
so who's
I should take one. It's safer.
Yeah. We're holding hands with you as well.
Yeah. We're
holding hands. We're all holding hands.
Yep. Where am I rolling or are you?
Who's rolling?
Arna's doing one first.
Okay, but okay. Who's doing the second one?
It's up to you. Okay.
Okay. Why is it up to me?
You got this.
Okay.
We're holding hands. All
right, I'll do it. Oh, thank God.
Okay. All right.
The power of friendship. This is secretly My Little Pony campaign.
Imagine
Okay.
he was like the demons need to roll over 6.
Yep.
Actually,
You were rolling for the demons. Again,
Don't tempt me. All right, so you begin to make your way to the central spire. It is late in the night. The work is no longer happening. The streets are fucking empty. The restaurant area where you were just at, closed. Everything's dark. Everything's dingy. The only bits of light that's about is from the small settlements and housing that's here and there. Very sparse. Only a few flickers. Most of them are extinguished as the late evening is coming into effect. But you approach the central spire. There is one singular light that shines forever at the front of the doorway as a beacon for people to know that this is the place where the warforged are. At night, the moon shines perfectly on top of this spire, and you can see that the moonlight glistens against it. There is almost this purple, almost translucid light that passes through and shines on you guys as you're walking to it and towards the entranceway. You notice yet again, because it has not changed, there are two small trees towards the entranceway. Two small grey trees that are the same ones that the demons have been planting. Are you going to just walk through them?
Can we hop over?
Can we walk around them?
There's no way to kind of pass by them unless you were to, I don't know, try and run into the entranceway, or if you were to try and teleport into the entranceway, whatever it may be. But they might not be looking through them. They might not. I'm just telling you this because it was there before and it's still there now. You haven't dealt with it. So, up to you
Or
guys.
is it just to face the property of this place? Like, oh, fuck these trees.
You just want to head through? As if nothing's happening? None the wiser?
I'm worried about the invisible people going through. That's my only thing. We don't really have a...
Question.
I mean, technically, we can send Cal on a stumbling mission where he accidentally sprays insecticide. Herbicide.
And he's the invisible
Herbicide.
one.
On that.
Would that break Cal's invisibility?
It would be him using something, yes. He could hand the items to someone else. And that wouldn't cause him to break his invisibility. It's when he interacts with something. Like when he actually uses his action to like pour or attack or cast a spell. Even opening a door is questionable, but for the most part, it won't break invisibility. So, what do you want to do?
Would I have given it to someone else to do it?
Yeah. Who's doing it?
You said there's not
Who
many
would
people
be-
out in the streets, right?
Nope, no one. You can roll a perception check if you want,
Question.
Helen. You don't have dark
Would-
vision, do you?
What? No, I do.
I don't think so.
Okay,
Wait, can I give her dark vision?
if you want to.
Yeah.
You know
have
that she can't see in the dark.
You have 300 feet of dark vision. Boop boop.
Okay.
I can now see.
Okay.
Hey.
Hey, yo.
Would you say that either me or Helen might be experienced with pesticide?
Sure. All you have to do
I'm
is
an
apply it
optimist.
to the base of the tree and it will slowly decay.
Well, slowly.
Slowly. But what I was going to say is if you want to roll a nature check at advantage to see what you know about this specific type.
Sure.
Jesus Christ, Robbie.
Well, you know what? We'll say that Elise is very against pesticide.
At least you fucking avoided that one. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. Helen, you've seen this kind of pesticide used before. However, it's alchemy based and it has been homebrewed. This is someone who dabbles in creating their own sort of concoctions, and this has been made specifically to cater for these grey trees. You would imagine that if this were to be applied towards the roots, it would take an effect straight away and it would be almost like a silent killer. You get the sense that it would probably nullify any sort of senses the tree has. It would just make it dormant and slowly kill it over time.
The bottle it's in,
Yes.
is it like, what does the bottle look like?
It's kind of like a jerry can.
A what?
A jerry can.
A jerry can. Okay, so it's some big...
Like a tin can. It's not massive, but it's kind of like that big. Like a flask, if you want to picture it that way.
Like a...
Does it pass as an alcohol vessel?
Yes, it could do, for sure.
Great. Helen, as we make our way over, slowly is acting like the alcohol that we just ingested is affecting her more.
Deception check.
Well, deception or performance?
Deception, because they're lying.
Hey. You know, the
I'm fantastic. I'm very intoxicated, stumbling. Alicio is taking me for safekeeping.
Okay.
This is why you drink responsibly.
Drink, you look at my drink that I have. This is the drink. Drink your drink.
That's nice. That's nice, Helen. Pat on the back. I'm never letting you drink again.
Okay. You just kind of like stumble over and whoops, get it on both trees.
She'll spill some like as we're traveling as well, just in case we're getting waste.
Yeah.
Like she's trying not to spill it. Like gets a little bit on Alessia's shoe, probably. Like she's spilling it.
The shoe starts burning. Very good. The liquid is poured onto the trees. The effects is taking place, and yeah, you think what you've done is correct. The process should work, and you imagine that these are now, to put it in game terms, unusable by the demons. So that is towards the entranceway. You enter the main hall. You can see that the place itself is completely quiet. There's no one active here walking around. There's no workers, no one. It is eerily quiet. Your footsteps are echoing in the chamber because it's an open chamber. It's all made of glass. Everything has a sound to it and reverberates. Nothing holds sound. So you are having to be very deathly quiet. Those invisible, unfortunately, this is sound-based, so any further stealth checks will only be made at a straight roll. But you see Floke guiding you forward, and he gestures down below to where the main entranceway is. You begin to descend. I would like each one of you to roll another stealth check. This is sound-based now.
Can I cast a tactical silence spell without breaking invisibility?
No, unfortunately, because you are casting a spell.
Yeah.
Right.
And that will break the invisibility, since it's not a greater invisibility.
Hey!
Very good. That's your 20. We'll roll for Cal as well. Stealth check.
Way!
Okay. This would be Coraline.
Okay.
This would be Floke. This would be Talk. And this would be Sorrel. Okay. All fairly decent.
That's an okay average.
Yeah.
Maybe don't know their bonuses either, so...
Well, the Warforged, their bonuses are +1. So, you begin to enter, head down the stairs. You do make a couple of footsteps. The sound is there, especially for the Warforged. Even though some of their feet are cushioned, the two metallic ones that are with you, Coraline and Talk, the two of them have steps that sound. They pitter-patter down. You followed behind. You arrive at that plateau once again. Door to the left, door to the right. The doorway is open. Doorway is open. You can see it there. You don't hear anything on the interior. You don't hear any working. Who goes first? Are you just allowing Floke to head in?
I believe it's Caroline and Flo first, while the rest of us are waiting.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
it's fine that they made noise. It's
Uh-huh.
mostly
Yeah.
the rest of us. It's not like they're going in for a conversation. We're the ones staying behind, trying to not get seen for now.
Right. You head through wait there and watch them head through the doorway. You just hear the conversation of Flo. Hi, Quatris, are you here? Oh, hi. You see he kind of like gestures. You hear on the other side behind the doorway, hello again once more, Flo. Are you here for your maintenance? Are you here to finish off what was necessary, as well as you talk? Well, actually, Quetris, I was hoping that we could have another discussion, another chat. Some more friends of mine, they just wanted to double check a few things with you to see if everything was okay. They may have seen something that maybe caused an alarm. I promise they're good people and they can help if necessary, but I just want to make sure that you're safe. Who would like to roll for Floke on his persuasion check?
Not me. I did it last 2 times.
Yeah, I'll do it. This is not
Okay.
curse applicable, is it?
No. This has a +2. Floke's persuasion
Alright.
is just +2.
+2.
Okay. Now we're going to roll an insight check from Quatros. His insight is +6.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh my
That's not
God.
necessarily. That's not necessarily good for us because we want him to believe him.
You see, or you hear just the confirmation of, all right, sure, that bring them in. Why not? Sometimes you need another set of eyes just in case if you've perhaps missed something. So please, bring them in. Okay.
Helen and Alessio step in. Helen and
I
Alessio.
thought they were gonna have more of a conversation, but all right.
Nope.
Dream team. Helen, Alessio, Caroline. We got this.
Floke brings you guys in. You head in. You see Quatros just kind of overlooking all of you. Welcome back. So, what is it you saw that needs attention?
Helen would just kind of look at him and go, "You've been alive a very long time, yes?"
I have, yes,
You
over
seem like
1,000 years.
Seem like a very smart man. Helen would get out like a piece of paper and make an approximation of the spiral and kind of hand it to him.
Mm-hmm.
Do you understand what this has come to represent?
I've seen this
Especially
iconography
recently.
before, yes.
How does he seem to react to that?
You see he acknowledges it and he kind of like nods his head. I know this sigil very well, yes.
Is he feeling positive feelings or negative feelings?
He's feeling very neutral.
Okay. Helen, can you... Recently, as we've been traveling, we've encountered this symbol on and around several individuals, and it slowly made them not themselves, made them fall asleep indefinitely, whole towns, and made people fall completely to their feelings. And
that can't be right, surely. I'm working completely fine, and I have the sigil on me.
Helen would kind
Same
of...
with the rest of the Warforged here.
Helen would just kind of look at him and go, this glass blocks a lot of different magics, I think your proximity to it is what's helping you resist the more negative effects. It's not just a decorative thing. It can be very harmful.
Oh, well, I've been tasked with this job. You see, I've been asked to do this. I've emblazoned this sigil on everyone to ensure that they are well fortified, protected. Is there some sort of issue?
I have a question, actually.
Oh, yes, by all means.
Your iodine crystal, you said they're all special and work in different ways, correct?
Right, yes.
And yours usually looks like that, yes? And it's like doing the spinning orange light thing.
Correct, yes.
Has it ever gone red before? And stagnant?
Well, yes.
Since the beginning of your creation, or
No. This was placed on myself, you see. I had what you would refer to as an apparition. A dream, perhaps. Where I was met by myself. And they helped me become more enlightened with my perception of reality. Again, is there an issue here?
Didn't you say you wanted to protect the Warforged from being corrupted?
Roll a persuasion check.
Okay. Fuck, can I reroll that?
You can if you want to, sure.
Yes, please. Okay, that's slightly better.
Okay. You see he hesitates for a second. Protect the Warforged. I'm serving my duty. I'm protecting them. I'm doing what was tasked of me. I was asked to do it myself.
Oh. You cut off there, Max.
I'll say it again. I was tasked to do this by my superiors, by myself. So, of course, I've gone ahead with doing it. It's all with good judgment.
Helen would kind of look at him and goes, our dreams are a great many things. I mean, you know this yourself. They are not always the truth or reality. They reflect all manner of things. I mean, you know of magics and how they can affect such things. We worry that this other you is misleading you. If you truly think it's the righteous thing to do, I think we find it slightly worrying given how we've seen it used, and perhaps that you're not thinking as clearly as you could be.
And your Warforged, they're all different. As in, they're all acting the same. The ones that have gone under maintenance.
That are outside, away from the glass that's been insulating you. I mean, you may not be feeling the effects, but many of your children, frankly, out there are being influenced by something beyond themselves.
Sometimes.
If you could roll an insight check.
Go.
Big number! Not a big number! Not a big number!
Wait, can I use my last reroll thingy to give?
Can you give it to someone else?
Yes, I can.
My insight
There we
is
go.
not great. My insight's not great anyway, but I will try again.
You never know.
Bigger number.
Okay.
Number.
I tried. I
Same
tried.
number. Okay. He listens, he acknowledges. You see, there are occasions where he does stop and think. I understand, but to get to that point, there must be a way, a system that is in place. We were broken before. We were disbanded. We were pieces left idle. But now we are together. Under one singular mind. For now. And then we'll have our freedom.
So you'd surrender to something you don't even know after spending millennia fighting to be yourselves.
There
I
are
can't
better ways about
See how you would
it.
stand for something like that.
You see he stops again. Hesitates. Well, I guess our
I know
ideals are slightly askew. But I don't see why that makes us different. Where does this leave us then?
Please, let us try to help you. And if we do, and you still want to go back to that, fine. But something is telling me that this is not how you really feel.
Roll a persuasion check.
Oh, mamma mia. Okay. 21.
Now,
Uh-huh.
do I be cruel
Oh,
and use an
you asked.
anti-inspiration?
Or do you want to save it for the fight so you can TP chaos?
Wait. It says next roll. This has already been rolled.
True.
Your
you
move is
would need
illegal.
You would have need to set it beforehand.
I was thinking about it. I was being dramatic. No, because you might fail anyway.
Oh, what do you mean?
Okay.
That?
He's going to roll. Who wants to roll for him?
No!
No, evil.
You
I don't
do
know.
it!
Evil. I can do it, sure. I'll do it at a disadvantage because I'm doing it. Let's see. Right. He is rolling a wisdom saving throw. He has a +6. The DC is
Come on.
19.
Come on, big whammy.
And he rolls a 19. Jesus
Meets it,
Christ.
beats it.
Ah!
Meets it, beats it.
As he's standing there and talking to you, you see that kind of emotion is welling up in him, that passion that he has. You see that spark of red growing brighter and brighter as the influence of the spiral begins to take place. And you feel this heat beginning to emerge from his core, like a bucking supernova in his chest is about to shoot out in front of you. And then it just all slows down. The red light dims. And where the more perceptive of you had seen it, the etching of the spiral, it is now diminished to almost an etching. There's no red tint to it anymore. And you see he kind of looks at you, the eyes kind of adjust slightly. I need help. Help me. Please.
We will.
We will, a lot of us, we will bar the door, make sure nothing comes in, and Floke and Ulrin can use the machine to hopefully rid your core of this influence, you said it could fix anything. Do you know if the machine itself was tampered with?
No, it was only me.
It's okay.
Help me and I
Helen-
can help the rest.
Okay.
You're the safe.
Helen will start, like, kind of, will A, get the invisible people, and B, start, like, blockading the door.
Sure. Okay. You start blockading the
And
door.
blockading wherever closest is to the teleporty trees.
Uh-huh. In
Hey,
this
can we
moment,
spill pesticide on them?
of course you can. But before you do, because this is the last thing you're doing, I would like for one of you to roll another d20. This time, you're going to roll an 8 or higher.
That's what I did last time!
Otherwise, a demon
I'm
appears.
rolling.
You want to roll? Okay. I believe in you.
8 or higher. Oh,
Oh, thank God. Thank God. Thank God. Thank fuck.
You guys, oh
Jesus
my
Christ.
fuck. You guys, with a 19 fucking wisdom saving throw, fucking Quattrus stopped you from having a fight with him. He was gonna fucking melt the shit out of you guys. Now you stop a fucking encounter with a demon in the fucking tightest shit space. You lucky fuckers. Ugh,
Jesus Christ.
I cannot
Oh.
believe it.
All planned and accounted for. We are,
This is bullshit. Give me my
Calculated.
we are
TPK.
masters of the art.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I mean,
Jesus, we talked it out.
Brooke mentioned that Helen is a professional bullshitter, so this works.
Yep. Yep.
okay. Quattrus will guide you as much as he can through this process while he's still awake. He's still subduing the influence of this red spiral. And Orin, you try and dismantle and take out the piece in his chest. Because you have his aid, he is guiding you through this. You do not need to roll. He is basically using your eyes, your hands, to manipulate and open up his chest to
Before
measure on the matrix. Yes,
they do any of that, I will pour the pesticide on the.
I gathered.
Yeah, okay.
And
Just to make-
blockade everything the fuck up.
I will, just in case the card that I imbued with the oh my God, what is it called? The Guardian, the
Guardian of Faith.
Guardian
Yeah.
of Faith near the door.
Sure.
Just so it's there right
You
now.
play your trap card. Wait,
Yep,
wait for
it's
it.
there.
Wait for it to Yu-Gi-Oh. Yeah, I get. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd like to enchant the door with my channel divinity and choose that demons cannot enter.
Excellent. Perfect. Blocking up the door, giving yourselves a sealed room. Oren, you are guided through the process of extracting the matrix. Now, I will need you to roll a Tinker's check, because there will be a point where, as he's guiding your hands, you disconnect it completely from him, and he just goes inert. And you only have your own understanding of how it works to extract the crystal.
Okay,
So,
With the
what
other
attribute is that?
warforged
And
This is
I
an
would like
dexterity,
to-
technically.
Okay, and I would like to use enhance ability to give me advantage.
Okay.
Maybe
Actually,
guidance.
rather than dexterity, because this is in a hot environment, I will give you advantage, and you can make it a con save instead, a con check, using your constitution as a part of your check, if that makes
Alright.
sense. So proficiency, con, advantage, plus a d4 from guidance or whatever's being added on top.
Guidance.
Yeah, this is
As
pretty much the
it's-
highest number I can have.
As
Oh.
Ulrin is taking it out of like his chest, Helen wants to give extend the feely feelers, see if the rock is feeling, well, see if the crystal,
Sure.
like, because she felt the emotions and the sentiment coming off the soul stone. She wants to kind of vibe check if this is kind of that for them.
Sure.
Like, Can she
You,
heal the person in the same way?
I'd say it's the same feeling. Although warforged don't necessarily dream, it's like androids dream of electric sheep. They don't actually dream, but in this state of like in between, where they are like nearing death and nearing like being alive and sentient, this is the closest they're ever going to be to that dream state. And you sense that kind of like dream kind of mind going on. There's thought happening there. They're asleep, but their mind is still active and thinking. So go for it, Oren.
Since I also have, although no, I can't because concentration. I would have thingy cast protection from evil and good.
Okay.
I mean, the invisibility doesn't.
No, he's
wait,
holding
wait,
concentration.
I already have advantage because you gave
Yeah,
me
you do.
one, so I can't
Yeah.
do this.
You have advantage because you're resistant to fire, so I'm just allowing that to happen.
Then I'll just do it like that.
A very specific case.
Yeah, so
Just don't roll 2 nat 1s.
Tinker's Tools,
Shut up,
Constitution.
Max.
I get a
Shut the
D4
fuck
because of Morden's guidance.
Hush your mouth.
Shut your mouth.
And guidance from me.
No holding hands.
Oh, thank fuck.
No holding hands for
The
Max.
first one was a nat 3 as well.
Advantage.
Okay. 24. The DC for these is 20, pretty much, in this state. So it's doable, especially when you have your kind of bonuses, but for most people it'll be very difficult. But if you, Oren, dip your hands into this kind of like liquid magma, rather than like magma heat, it's almost like that next state, which is like plasma. You're dipping your hands in like resin, although it looks hot. There's no real heat to it, and you're just pulling it free and clasping it in your hand between your palms and gently walk over and place it into the machine, which then presses down, clicks into place, and now begins the restorative process of rejuvenating the crystal. The process, Quattrus explains to you that in his state will probably take a few hours. But he did mention that earlier, that it does take hours to do.
Yeah.
So it'll be around 2-3 hours for the crystal to be purified once again.
We barricade ourselves in our vigilance.
Absolutely. Nothing gets in, nothing gets out.
Yeah.
I mean, it helps that this is now night, right? We're doing this kind of partially overnight.
You are, yeah.
Essentially, wait, when you say a couple hours, do we mean like 2-3 hours? Do you mean like 8 hours, essentially?
No, like 2-3 hours. It depends on the process, so it'll be between those 2 hours. But you're barricading yourselves in, you're just staying in this room for that time.
I think it's more important that we prevent him from being fucked with. I mean, it doesn't mean we can't be communicated with.
I feel like we were being followed. And if we went in and then didn't leave for 3 hours, might be suspicious.
I mean, I guess we can leave the invisible people inside, and the people who were seen.
I mean,
entering.
because theoretically the 2 warforged, so Carolyn plus.
And I would need to let them know that we got it under control, so they don't do anything.
Well,
and I can't.
Here. Colin will need to recast the spell, and she can choose new targets because it's only an hour. So, but
she doesn't need to theoretically because they were invisible. So hypothetically,
an hour though.
Go in.
Yeah, but they weren't seen going in, so the 2 of us could leave, and the rest of basically the 4 of them plus Float could stay there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Theoretically.
So, do you want to leave?
I think we stay for like half an hour, 45 minutes, and then we leave. Gotcha. Like we stay for a bit, and then we leave.
Yeah. Okay. Gotcha.
Maybe closer to half an hour.
Super late, right? It's like 9.
At this
You waited
point
4
now,
hours.
you waited for 4 hours from 5 o'clock. It'll be 9 o'clock. You came here, you did this process. That's about an hour and a half. It's nearing 11 o'clock at night.
I'd probably leave then.
Yeah.
Okay.
If it's
Helen
been
will.
By
If
the
it's
time
been
the
that
crystal
long,
is
Helen.
purified, it'll be about 1 o'clock in the morning.
Okay,
Okay.
so Helen and Alicia should leave because I'm gonna get exhaustion if I don't sleep.
Yeah.
Which will
Some of you
also
are on the
be
cusp
bad.
of exhaustion already.
I mean, the people that are going to be there theoretically overnight can sleep in ship because there's 4 of them, so they can theoretically rest. The 2 of us leave. Helen can sleep. We just stay
Yeah, I
alert
guess-
because Alicia already slept
Yeah,
technically.
I have a long rest. Yeah.
So yeah,
So I
I
can stay
think
up and make sure you're okay while you sleep.
we don't have really anywhere to stay properly, do we?
I'm assuming there's a tavern.
It's only the restaurants. There's no tavern
Inn?
or no inn.
I guess.
I mean, we have
will
camping
just-
gear.
What most people,
Yeah.
most adventurers
But all
tend
of
to do if they don't have like lodging here, they will just camp out in the woods. It's safe
Okay.
enough. The forest is protected after all.
Okay,
I do
so
have a tiny hut, so
Helen and Alicia will set up camp then nearish by, if possible, somewhere with like a line of sight.
Okay.
yeah.
If the 2 of you are leaving, I will ask if the 2 of you could roll a stealth check.
Are we being stealthy? Question mark. Or do we want to be seen leaving?
Up to you.
I think we should be seen leaving
Because I think
because
can
if
still
we
let
were
know if-
followed,
yeah.
we can tell everyone to block up the door.
Yeah.
I think the magic users probably heard him talking long enough that they can do their shenanigans. Like they've seen him, they talk to him. I think we should be seen leaving
Yeah.
and just kind of set up camp.
Okay.
That's my opinion.
I think we should be seen leaving. However, should we let them know where we're going?
Probably not. Maybe. I mean, to be fair, it doesn't really matter, does it? Really?
I mean, they could ambush the 2 of us.
Yeah, but like, if I'm gonna have to try and sleep for like enough hours, they'll find us anyway. It's not that big.
Okay, sure then.
I don't think it really matters.
All right. Then
to be
we're trying to
honest.
get seen by them.
Yeah, we're just
Mhm.
walking.
La 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 la. We left. La, la, la,
Okay.
whatever.
If you could roll perception checks then to see if you spot.
Yeah, we're doing the normal amount of don't really want to be seen by the demons, but other people.
Sure.
Mhm.
Hey.
I will tell you now. You see no demons.
Okay.
You see no people. There's no one here.
Cool.
The streets are empty.
Makes me
Eerily quiet. Even the trees don't really feel like they have a sentience to them.
Do Warforged, our Warforged, do they sleep normally?
No.
Are they meant?
They don't sleep. They rest. They have a resting period. They need to stop working, like a trance, if you want to put
Yeah.
it in terms of like an elf.
And leave your computer on for 20 days. And
Otherwise, it'll overheat and die.
Yeah.
But no, the streets are empty. And
Is it like suspiciously quiet?
you've not
Yeah,
been
or
here
is
at
it
night.
just like it's one? Okay.
You've not been here at night, so you don't know. But because you are actively looking around to see if there's any demons, you don't spot any. And you feel fairly confident that every nook and cranny that you're staring down, you don't see anything. Even though sometimes, like, you might think you see a shadow that's there, there's nothing. It's just kind of like the reflection in the moonlight. But you leave. go to the outskirts of the settlement and begin to set up a camp. You don't head back to your normal camp, you just set up camp elsewhere. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
I will do Lehman's tiny hut.
Sure. You begin to cast a spell.
Ritual. Wait,
The
can
spell takes place. Lima's tiny hut activates, and the two of you wait inside.
I will actually cast sending
Okay.
to the other group.
Yep.
Helen is going to immediately try and conk out and get sleep.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's okay. I'll keep watch essentially after I do the sending. Okay. Cured.
Who you sending a message to?
The
Pietrgrana.
Storm. Yeah, Pietrgrana. Cured Quattrus. However, others infected wasn't seen. We're camping. Where are we in general? Like, would you say
Like east.
west,
We'll say
east?
east, yeah.
Hell and I. If you wanna talk.
Okay. Your camp is east. Their camp, your main base, is like southwest. You try to go in a different direction just to kind of like break it up a bit. You send a message. Orin, you're still at the spire, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
This
Two
is
things
best.
happen.
I will say,
Yes.
no. If I'm inside the Lehman's tiny hut, nobody else can hear inside of it.
I know.
Okay.
Two things happen. Orin, there's no. You are here with Coraline, Floke, and Sorrel.
And?
The four of you are in the belly of this spire, the home of the warforged. You hear warforged. You hear many of them moving, stepping, as if they were waiting for people to leave. You hear dozens of footfalls. They're coming to the entranceway.
And we
And
see them?
you're not there.
Wait,
Helen,
wait.
this is Orin.
Entranceway. Yeah, just Robbie understands. Entranceway of that room or entranceway of the
into that room.
Oh,
The
They
other
were
room.
elsewhere in the spire. You guys just didn't explore the rest of the spire. The warforged begin to activate, begin to walk up, and Orin, you just see this red light glowing down the hall as you close the door and try and keep it shut. Life's Echo, the remaining people at base camp, those of you who are playing characters there, you would see, and what I'm going to do is, Brooke, you're playing Ark. Robbie, you're playing Pietrgrana.
Pietrgrana, yep.
Ani, you're playing Muduruk. I'd ask the three of you to roll perception checks as those characters.
Okay.
Correct. What is she?
Plus perception.
The DCs are different because I've not given them specific proficiencies because I could be fucked.
Okay,
So
plus
plus
2.
wisdom.
So that's plus wisdom, which is a dirty 20 for her.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's a net 1 plus 5.
One of us
Okay.
can see something.
Okay.
Yep.
The mute arc, the only one who cannot speak or say words or communicate in any form or
Oh.
fashion.
Sign language.
Brooke, as arc, you see a growing red light completely surrounding the edge of this camp. Just this red light encompassing all the tree line. As they were quiet enough to not be noticed, you guys were keeping to your camp, but you're followed.
Wait, which camp?
The base camp, home base.
Oh, okay.
With the people going back and forth, the rolls were just too low in comparison to those tracking, and
Shit.
they are surrounded.
At least they can respond.
Emerging as Ark begins to wake up the rest of the troop, emerging from the tree line
Muffin
is
dog.
a hound with red glowing eyes, just beginning to push its way forward out into the open air. As each one of you are being stirred awake, Ark is like pushing, trying to get everyone to their feet as you are surrounded. The party split. 2 different encounters taking place. Pietgrana hears the message from Alicio, and she responds with, "We are surrounded. They're here. The demon is here." And that is where we're going to pick up next session. With what is going to be a clusterfuck of combat
That is
scenarios.
going to be so fucked.
It's going to
Okay.
be fucked.
I think
Okay,
her
so-
main priority is not getting the other dog to that same place.
Well, maybe the other dog is with the people in the spire.
Perhaps. Perhaps.
We don't know, but maybe.
I swear to God.
Helen and Alicia chilling in a little camp as the rest of the party.
Chilling in a
What were we supposed to do? We wanted to distract them to follow us.
I know. But unfortunately, they
Good
already had a
logic,
plan.
flawed
They
logic.
already had a plan before you guys went in. So,
What do you mean? Whoever? Oh man.
yeah.
Who's the snitch? Who's the mole? Who do we need to beat the fuck up?
It's unfortunately just a combination of bad rolls at
Didn't
the bad
quite
time.
roll high enough.
Like, you
Yeah.
guys rolled really high for very specific things.
Yeah.
And then on some other things, you just roll like average. And these guys are demons. They're fucking god level. They're going to be rolling a bit more higher than average on most
I
rolls.
know. I know.
So it was just unfortunate that it landed this way. But I will say, you guys fucking aced it with Quattros. Otherwise, you would have had an encounter with them. They are a linchpin to
Yeah.
this. So
That
you're
would
able
have been worser.
it would have made things much worse. Plus, for Ulrin, he's in a good position because he's got a defensive position. For
Yeah.
Life's
I-
Echo, they're surrounded.
I will mend the fuck out of this door.
I know. That's what I'm picturing. It's just you hammering the wall. Like, no.
Look,
Not enter.
This thing
just
will never fall.
stall. Okay, stall.
Like the good
because
thing.
we can
the-
kill the demons.
Okay, so it's Life's Echo plus maybe us versus a lot of warforged. By this point, like at least like the core is out of his body, and it'll take them a while to put it back in. So at least they're just fighting normal warforged, theoretically, maybe
Yeah.
one of the demons, but it can't teleport in, so they'd still have to do something to break down the door.
Mhm.
Versus Life Echo's currently about to get their shit kicked in.
I feel like you and I should probably get to them.
Yes. Can we
think-
get to them fast enough? Probably not.
Flying!
Slowly flying.
No, I have wings! I fly fast! No!
Fast flying.
The funny part to me
Yeah.
is that Tuco's there with Life Echo as well.
It's okay. He's hiding. He's taking a defensive.
We have to go
So
save.
fucked.
We have to go save the author.
It's
Yeah, we
less
do.
about Life Echo. It's like, no, not the frog. No.
And
In all
Kel's fucking
fairness-
jelly thing is there, so like we gotta save that thing too.
Yeah.
In all fairness, Tuco did want to fight a demon.
He did.
At
He
least
reaps
it'll
what
be
he
cool for
sows.
his biography if he lives, you know.
Yeah. Jesus. But yeah, we went a bit over in terms of time, but I
Wait,
thought, yes.
sorry, is Richter with them?
Rita is with Life's Echo, yes.
Okay, got you.
Yeah. So
That's
it's
good.
Life's Echo, Ark, Pietgrana, Salo, Tuco, Muduruk.
Yeah.
So that's 6, I believe.
All right, guys. I gotta go.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
bye-bye.
We're gonna end
I gotta
this.
go
You
open
did
the door
amazing.
downstairs.
You did
Bye-bye,
amazing, Brooke.
everyone.
Bye-bye.
Cheers,
Bye.
Brooke. And thanks everyone for watching. We'll see you next time.
Bye-bye. Pray for
Goodbye.
us. Pray for us. Bye.
Pray. How do I do this? Bye.